Vancouver. Beautiful day in Vancouver. Sunny skies, about +9. Good thing we have a solid engineer here at Rogers Arena. Tyler informing me that that very, very, very dark brown is actually just black. Clearly, I need to go to Specsavers. We've got an icing call against the Edmonton Oilers. 13:41 to go in the first. No score, Vancouver and Edmonton. Third meeting this year. Bob, the Oilers won 3-1 in the opener, and then Vancouver got a 4-3 overtime win behind a guy who's not in uniform tonight.
Kiefer Sherwood was the best player that night by
He's been the best player this season for them.
And he's going to get them a late first-round pick. You watch. $1.5 million cap hit. There's teams salivating at a cheap ad like that, Jack.
17 goals and a guy who's second in the league in hits. Here's Podkolzin. Speaking of hits, he leads the Oilers to Connor McDavid. Left wing blast from distance by Ekholm is squeezed by Tolopilo, who goes 6 foot, 230 pounds. He's from Belarus. He's making his 6th career start. He's 2-2 this year. Got lit up for 6 by Montreal on Monday, as I mentioned. And last year, he was the backup on a Calder Cup winner for the Vancouver Canucks with Archer Shelovs, whom we saw in that second-round series a couple years ago.
Yeah, Shelovs. The Oilers tried to get Shelovs. They offered the same pick to Vancouver. Vancouver traded him to Pittsburgh. If the Oilers had gotten Shelovs, I'm not convinced that the Jarry trade for Skinner would have happened, because I think there would have been a more equitable split in the starts between potentially Shelovs and Skinner. But here we are, and Jarry's an Oiler, and Tolopilo's getting the start tonight because Demko's hurt again, and Lankinen's not feeling great.
And Connor Ingram is the only guy among any of them who's a .900 goaltender.
Yeah,
he's not even here tonight. Calvin Pickard is backing up. Ty Emberson with control of the puck ahead to Darnell Nurse. Tipped in by Frederick, and that was knocked down and settled by Bouillon. He'll swing it cross ice for David Kampf, who shoots it in. Evander Kane, another guy from the Canucks whose well has gone dry. Just 2 goals in his last 20. Gets it back from Jake DeBrus. Inside to Kampf, and now the Canucks work the end zones. Nugent Hopkins and Emberson defending for Edmonton. It's soccered over to DeBrus from the left corner. He'll swing it down low to Evander Kane. Checked by Emberson right off the puck. Swung up the left-hand side for Nugent Hopkins, who makes a good play off the wall to Trent Frederick. Scrambles to center and then whistles a pass intended for Kapanen, but too far and taken by Bouillon. 12:20 to go first period. No score. Edmonton and Vancouver. The Canucks 16, 26, and 5. Dead last in the league and trying to avoid a franchise record-tying 10th straight loss. Connor Garland had it poked away. Savoy against Mancini to the net, and a poke check by Tolopilo. He held his ground well. Mancini blasted his way into the goalpost, the net off its moorings. But I'll give Tolopilo credit that time. Savoy bearing down on him, jabbed out that poke check, which I feel is an underutilized weapon. And you know who did it for so many years? Your favorite goaltender, Marc-Andre Fleury.
Your favorite goaltender. I was going to say Johnny Bauer.
Well, that would be going back a ways.
He was pretty good with the poker, too.
He was.
Savoy separating Mancini, playing out of Nebraska, Omaha. Currently coached by Mike Gabinet, the grandson of Claire Drake.
And a former pro hockey player himself. Played at one time for former Oil Kings head coach Derek Laxdal in Boise, Idaho. Here's Drew O'Connor. Under control for the Canucks, did not get it out. Bouchard, a drag move to the high slot for McDavid. Will get it back. Bouchard's open, left circle in front. Trying to backhand it home was Hyman, but Tolopilo comes up with the save. Tolopilo, his last start before Monday was a win against the Minnesota Wild. So he has faced high-caliber opposition before and come out on the right side of it.
He's a big man, as you mentioned.
How was the visit with the family?
Still married.
Stauffer Foundation now in Vancouver. Grabbed by Pettersson. Philip Roenick up the right-hand side. As befitting a societal elite like yourself. Here's Marcus Pettersson, denied by Hyman. Backing his way in, McDavid. He was checked off the puck by Liam Ogren, and now Roenick will escape behind his own net and hit Ogren left wing. This is offside against Vancouver, and Pettersson eventually brought it in, hoping that everyone had vacated, but it didn't happen, and Kyle Murchison with a call.
There's a lot of Oilers fans here tonight. That's a given.
Well, the cascade of orange and blue would be your first clue. I mean, and of course, in our hotel, Oiler fans pile in. Vancouver, obviously a team with just 4 wins in 19 home games this year.
But
they will not make the playoffs.
But a win against Edmonton.
Yes, 4-3 in overtime. But as you mentioned, the guy who anchored that victory, Kiefer Sherwood, scored twice and had a third taken away. Not in uniform. Tyler Myers showed shot, now backs off. Calder winner from 2009 in Buffalo. Told me this morning he's trying to mentor some of the younger Vancouver defensemen, just as he was mentored by a veteran Buffalo group back when he broke into the league. A steal by Lazar against Linus Karlsson allows Janmark to shoot it in. Mangiapane floods the offensive zone with Lazar. Fierce battle ensues. Nearly halfway through this first period, no score. Emberson will hold the line for Janmark. Shoveled down low by Nurse. And now Lazar had it flicked off his stick. Good defensive play by Myers. And Karlsson from center will scoop it in. Line change for Vancouver. First-year head coach Adam Foote, who was an assistant under Rick Tocchet. Remember, just a couple years ago, Vancouver, 109 points, won the division. Last year didn't miss by much. This year they're going to miss by a mile. Nugent Hopkins under control in the offensive zone. Swings it over to Frederick. Inside to Kasperi Kapanen, top of the left circle. Hard defense played by Vilander, and that's a good play by Vilander. Up through center, Evander Kane tried to center, and that was broken up. Don Vilander, another rookie out of Boston University. Bouillon, a rookie out of the University of Denver. Held in by Vilander and taken by Nurse. Up the gut and backhanded safely out Nugent Hopkins, and now a reset for Edmonton. Frederick returns to Nurse. Line change for the Oilers. 9.5 to go first period. Shots are now 5-4 Edmonton. Nurse advanced through to Stastny, and now Roslovic flying behind the Vancouver net. Tried to tuck it inside, and Hronek negated. It's loose. Savoy. A strike to Stastny. His shot blockered away by Tolopilo. Rebound played back down low, looking for Roslovic. Hronek took it away from Savoy and found Drew O'Connor. Now Connor Garland, another guy that's been struggling for the Canucks. 1 goal in his last 16. Shot by Pettersson, and that was scooped by Tristan Jarry. And that goal for Garland is an empty netter. He hasn't scored on a goaltender in more than a month and a half. 9:01 to play first period. We've got no score in the hockey game. Third of 4 meetings between Edmonton and Vancouver. We'll be right back with more first period play-by-play in just a moment. We're live at Rogers Arena with Ford Dealers NHL Hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
From the first time on skates to wearing a special jersey passed down through generations, Sentinel Storage is here for you. Store your sports gear to create space for all life's adventures. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. Big skies, rugged landscapes. Now that's Alberta in a nutshell. And if you're looking for an SUV that can keep up with this place, check out the Ford Bronco. Built for those who crave adventure, with serious off-road capability and style to spare. Whether you're hitting the mountain trails or exploring the back roads, it's the perfect ride for those who want to experience everything this province has to offer. The Ford Bronco. Adventure awaits at your Alberta Ford dealer. And tell them PB sent you.
From backyard rinks to big arenas under bright lights, electricity powers every moment. At Capital Power, we generate reliable, affordable electricity for oil country and beyond, powering innovation, opportunity, and thriving economies across North America. Just like our Edmonton Oilers, we're driven, determined, and lighting up the game. We're powering change by changing power. Get to know us at capitalpower.com.
From the first time on skates to wearing a special jersey passed down through generations, Sentinel Storage is here for you. Store your sports gear to create space for all life's adventures. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
The Vancouver Canucks lost 10 in a row in January of 1998, 28 years back. The Oilers are trying to make sure it's 10 straight losses with a win tonight. But most importantly for Edmonton, get back in the win column. A shot by Drew O'Connor off the draw to Jari's right. Missed blocker side. Jari might have gotten a piece to help usher it wide. Lazar defending. Connor Garland pulls it free down low, but lost the handle. Canucks, during their most recent stretch, which was an 0-6 road trip, outscored 27-9. Shot Bouillon. Save Jari. Through heavy traffic, O'Connor had a screen there. Lazar had a chance to get it out, didn't get it done. Here's Savoy. And he'll filter it through to Lazar, who this time makes sure back to the Vancouver line. And quite frankly, the Oilers fortunate there.
Curtis got to make a better play before. Turn the puck over, gave Vancouver a second chance opportunity.
Myers to Elias Pettersson. A high lofted puck sent in. Ekholm guides it over to Evan Bouchard, but the puck in his feet got bottled up by Ogren. And now he scampers loose. Turns and fires from the right circle. Easy save for Jari. Rebound to Zach Hyman, and he's got a step. But Ogren can really fly. Forces Hyman out wide, and the centering pass punched wide by McDavid as he was ridden into the crossbar by Marcus Pettersson. We have not had a penalty called in this game. Edmonton at 23-17 and 8 coming in, including 8-3-1 in its last 12 on the road. They're locked in a scoreless tie, Bob, as we played about 12 minutes.
Yeah, and I didn't mind Edmonton. Edmonton didn't have a great first period against the Islanders. Really liked the second and third. But New York got the power play goalie, the worst power play in the league going into that game. Went 1 for 1, and Edmonton with the best power play in the league went 0 for 2. They ran into Ilya Sorokin. And there are people here. There's a guy named Kevin Woodley here, Kevin in goal, and he does a great job. And he believes that Sorokin's the best goaltender in the NHL this year. It's not close, analytically speaking. Oilers ran into that on Thursday night.
Well, it's the 7th time this year, Bob, they've outshot an opponent by more than 15 and lost the hockey game.
Edmonton?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the most in the league. They're 5-7 in games where they've outshot the opponent by more than 15. Now, some of that is natural. Some of that you can actually understand, but Sorokin was magnificent the other night. Pettersson a steal, and here come the Canucks 3-on-2, maybe right to left. Ahead for Ogren. Tried to hit the drop pass for Roenick, and then Besser kind of collided with Roenick. Here's Matthias Ekholm. On to McDavid. He'll drive in from the right-hand side. McDavid pulls up. Drop pass for Emberson, right circle. Gliding behind the net and dishing off. Now Kapanen shoots, and that was blocked. Frederick was trying to set a screen in front. Archie Baines sees it punched the other way by Linus Karlsson. Emberson will backhand it up to Trent Frederick, and the Oilers back in possession of the puck as they swoop the other way left to right. Nugent Hopkins hits the line. Back playing center tonight. Shrugs off Max Sasson and then tries to deal it over to Kapanen, and that was broken up. Nugent Hopkins actually without a goal in his last 10.
Edmonton's got to shoot the puck, Jack. Not enough shots.
Baines dumps it in. Shots are 6-5 Vancouver through the first 13 and a half minutes. Nurse directing traffic up the right-hand side. Stastny immediately bottled up by David Kampf. And now Valander. On to Evander Kane. Couldn't work his way through Mangiapane. Jake Wallman able to grab the puck. His third game back, turned it over. DeBrusk's the steal. Charges in right-hand side. Cross ice and just missed Bouillon. Good active stick from Matthias Janmark. Bouillon will take a skate back through the neutral zone.
Well played by Bouillon, though, to get the puck back.
Jake DeBrusk tied with Leon Draisaitl for third in the league with 11 power play goals, but just one even strength goal all year long. Here's Wallman. Fires one cross ice for Janmark. Back to Wallman at center. He'll lob it in. Tolofilo cast an eye on it, but Drew O'Connor came over to make a play on it. Garland tried to give it back to him with speed, but Savoy's active stick broke it up. O'Connor can motor, but he runs into Nurse at the blue line, and now the Oilers bring it the other way. Howard spins, and that's a play he needs to get rid of as he tried to spin and backhand it over to Savoy rather than, if you're not going to shoot it, Bob, put the brakes on and wait for your trailer.
Just shoot it low to a stick side and get the rebound.
Sent in by the Canucks. Grabbed by Ty Emberson up the middle for Darnell Nurse. Now Howard receives a pass left wing. This time flicks it off the boards to Savoy. Trailer is Nurse. Open Emberson. In front and a save on Roslovic. Tolopilo holding sway. Best chance of the night. Jack Roslovic just above the hash marks. He's denied in his bid for his 13th of the year. We'll come right back. We played 15 minutes, no score, 6 shots aside. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
Rogers is Canada's most reliable 5G Plus network, so you can stream Edmonton Oilers games and see Leon scoring in Leduc. Watch Ty tie things up in Tofield. Or check out Connor doing Connor things in Kalmar. And even catch Boosh Bombs in Beaumont. Try saying that 3 times fast. Rogers, this is our game.
At Brandt, our job description is whatever you need to succeed. Expert support, parts when you need them, and financing that fits on the compact construction machines you want. Equipment, expertise, value, delivered right to your door. We do it right at your site. Call your Brandt dealer to book your demo today.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around in the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation. Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass or cup or whatever you pour your Molson in, because it doesn't matter what it's in. It matters where it's from. Canadian, export, ultra, excel, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
4:55 to go in the first period. Jack Michaels, Bob Stauffer, back with you on our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Legacy, home of no interest, no payments for 1 full year. Connor McDavid against Elias Pettersson. Face off to the left of Tolopilo. Now he's going to be chased out, replaced by Podkolzin. Off the draw, collected by Bouchard. He'll work the line. Connor McDavid snapped it in front, picked off by Pettersson, and he's able to one-hand it back to the red. Edmonton playing without Leon Draisaitl tonight. Bob told you also about Adam Henrique, still out probably through the Olympic break with a suspected hand injury. Draisaitl, it's harder on the timeline, but again, leave of absence due to family concerns. Here's a shot on net and a save made by Jari against Liam Ogren from the top of the right circle. Now Ekholm, a strike to Bouchard. Hyman left wing, driving the net. His shot was blocked. Rebound, Bouchard. Sends it around the end boards for McDavid, and now Podkolzin goes to work. Podkolzin and McDavid had not played together that much during his tenure in Edmonton. Here's Bouchard, drop pass McDavid. Pressure from Besser. Here's McDavid, dishing off. Bouchard rolls, top of the right circle, through Besser. Winding, centering, and deflected right into the pads of Tolopilo as Bouchard jabbed his stick back in there. And I'm thinking, Bob, on that drive down the ice, Hyman, even though he gets it blocked, probably has the mentality that you're looking for here in the first 16 minutes.
You got a guy that is basically their organizational number 3 goalie, and he passed off about 5 shot attempts here in the first 15 minutes of the game. Put more pucks, make this guy work, make him uncomfortable.
Canucks have run through 37 players this year, second most in the league, 23 forwards the most. They've got injuries to Thatcher Demko, their number 1 goaltender. Marco Rossi, another piece acquired in the Hughes deal. Teddy Bluger, a versatile fourth-line center. and Philip Hedl, part of that JT Miller deal, and there's real concerns about him long term. Drive by Frederick as he entered the zone, sailed high and wide off the plexi, and Kapanen shoveled off the half wall, eludes everyone, and chases Wallman back into his own zone as we approach 3 minutes on the first period clock. No score in the hockey game. Nugent Hopkins had it knocked off his stick, backhanded in by Linus Karlsson. Canucks have not won a game in regulation since December the 19th. And they are 0-7-2 in their last 9. Icing was waved off. Baines on his horse down the right-hand side. Lazar got caught in too deep, but then recovered and made a steal and slid it back to Frederick as the play has gotten a bit sloppy here. And that's probably an understatement.
Cannot hesitate.
Nurse backing off. A reset for the Oilers. 2:40 to go in the first period. No score in the hockey game. Edmonton in the white. Vancouver in the home blacks. Here's Mangiapane. Whistled around the boards to Curtis Lazar. Punched down the wall, Sasson. Battling Mangiapane. Double teamed by Yanmar. Pried loose by Victor Mancini from the backside. He'll go hard up the boards. This will turn into an icing call against the Canucks. 2:19 to go in the first period. And now Edmonton will go to the Roslovic line for the offensive zone draw. Chris Knobloch's club has scored 15 goals in the next 2 games after their previous 1-0 loss. Remember, they got bageled by another team that leads the league in shutouts. Minnesota and the New York Islanders co-lead with 7 apiece. And after the 1-0 loss to the Wild, Edmonton exploded for 9 the next game against Seattle. Well, now they're in Vancouver, and they haven't scored in 18 minutes against Tolopilo. Roslovic wins the face-off. Back to Bouchard. Roslovic has it back on his stick. Tried to go to Savoy. Now Isaac Howard fires one, cross seam. Ekholm holds on to it, keeps the play onside. Roslovic button hooking, top of the left circle. Looking for his first point in 8 games. Again, since being moved to center ice, the offense has dried up a little bit despite lots of chances. Here's Savoy from behind the net. Roslovic. Bouchard circling. Left faceoff dot shot. A kick save made by Tolopilo. And then O'Connor turned it over as he attempted to clear. Can Edmonton make Vancouver pay? O'Connor getting bodied up by Roslovic. Good work by this line again, but it skitters outside the zone, and the Oilers have nothing to show for it. Bouchard straight ahead for Howard. Now Roslovic's open and blistered one up over top. He had a lot of room. Right circle.
That was the best chance of the game for the Oilers. Got to finish that.
Well, he had a previous chance in the slot. Roslovic's had the 2 best chances, I would say. I'm not sure which one was better, but bottom line is nothing to show for it, and that line has to be getting frustrated because they played well. Besser in on the forecheck. The outlet to Nurse with a minute to go in a scoreless first period. Hyman bodied up by Roenick. Shook it off, got it down low for Podkolzin. Beneath the goal line to McDavid on the right half boards. Across, Nurse left circle. Tipped by Podkolzin. McDavid back on it. Just inside the blue line on the right side. Marcus Pettersson ahead for Besser. He corrals, tried to get it to Ogren. It went through him, then he got it back and fired it in, forcing Jari to play it. He'll leave it for Nurse. The drop pass to McDavid. Half minute to go in the period. McDavid building speed through the neutral zone. Gets through Camp. Roenick was there, got in his lane. McDavid fluttered one over to Stasny. Then back to Nurse. Middle of the ice, Podkolzin. Top of the circles in the Vancouver zone. McDavid with 12 seconds. Makes a move. Dishes off one-timer Podkolzin from the Draisaitl spot. Hits the side of the net. McDavid on the rebound. Time running out in the first. Podkolzin tried to keep it alive. 2 seconds. And we will end the first period locked in a scoreless tie. The Oilers registered 5 of the period's last 6 shots on net. But Vancouver's able to duck out of the opening 20 in a scoreless battle with Edmonton. And for the Canucks, again, having been outscored 27-9 in their last 6, that's a win for them. It's not a win for Edmonton. Canucks, the longer they hang around, Bob, you start wondering whether this is Tolopilo's night.
Got to get more traffic in front of the net and got to stop working for shots to the side of the goal. You got chances to funnel it on the net. One of the guys that's getting an opportunity here to play in the top six is Trent Frederick. We'll speak to him momentarily, but there's guys hungry to get more because Connor Leon plays so much.
And it's all on the left side, if you think of it. And we're joined by one of them right now, Trent Frederick. Guys obviously had some pressure throughout that period, Trent, after a frustrating night against Sorokin. What are you facing tonight in Tolopilo? He looks like a big man. What needs to happen moving forward in this one?
I think it might be another couple seconds before we up. Yep. So we're just waiting.
And you would say more traffic.
I would say more traffic, and I just think more north-south and less east-west. The Oilers got to funnel pucks to net. He's a big man. Get some bodies in front of him and force him to work.
Well, now we are joined by Trent Frederick. And Trent, a lot of opportunity in that first period. I wonder, does it harken back to Thursday night where he had all kinds of chances against Sorokin? How do you generate more and get Tolopilo moving side to side?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Sorry about that. I thought that was a good period for us. Maybe a little bit more guys in front of the net. Maybe a little more, maybe shots on net right now because the skill plays and all that stuff right now aren't going in. So maybe we just get a couple dirty ones and the rest will follow.
All right. So look, Leon Draisaitl's dealing with a personal matter. You're a guy who's being elevated. You're obviously chomping at the bit to get some more minutes. Tonight's your opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah. I had a lot of fun that period. Got a little bit more minutes and I felt good about it.
Biggest thing is you're not going to let that 74 beat you, are you?
No way. Not Louis, son.
All right, Trent, thanks for the time.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Trent Frederick and, of course, Jake DeBrusk broke in together with the Boston Bruins and played for some great teams. Bobby, you said it, more traffic in front of the net. Trent echoed that sentiment. But outside of that, I wonder... That was a quiet period for 97. What's Vancouver doing to take away some touches for Connor McDavid?
In this building, they've played him well. They played him well earlier this season. They played him well in the preseason game.
He's got 70 points in 44 games against them.
I know that, but he's done a lot. He's made a lot of hay at home. Even in the 7-game series, he had 9 points. Bouchard had 11. Draisaitl had 14. Now that said, game 2 here, Connor and Leon won the game for the Oilers that night. But I think they're getting the right matchup out there. Pettersson loves going. If you take a look at it, Pettersson's been okay against McDavid. What I don't like is how much east-west has been in Edmonton's game. Get the puck to the net, attack the net, and I haven't liked the starts. And you know what? It's been a little bit of a reoccurring theme. And sometimes when you work your way into a game, you're behind and you're having a chase. So get going here early in the second period. Now, we saw against Winnipeg, back half of that game, Edmonton really got going against a team that was a little bit vulnerable. The game against the Islanders, I know the Islanders won 1-0, but the Oilers were all over them in the second, third period.
24-6, the shots.
Get going and get a little less deselective with the shots. Put it to the net and get her going here.
Fair enough. He's Bob Stauffer. I'm Jack Michaels. Rob and Brendan await their turn. That's next. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey with a score tied at 0s through 20 from Vancouver. The Oilers Radio Network.
Can an energy provider make you feel carefree? We think so. Because who doesn't like to be surrounded by good energy? Great rates always. Gimmicks never. Perks that reward your loyalty and energy experts who know what's what. Carefree just feels good. Encore by Emcor, your carefree electricity and natural gas provider.
Customers are free to purchase natural gas or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822 toll-free.
Stay connected with your community and enjoy the latest updates and exclusive access to concerts and events by becoming an 880 CHED Insider. Don't miss out on a single moment. Sign up now at 880ched.com and click on CHED Insider Newsletter to become a vital part of Edmonton's premier news and talk community. 880 CHED, Edmonton's news, today's talk, where Edmonton stays informed and entertained today and every day. This is At the Intermission on the Oilers Radio Network.
Up the middle for Darnell Nurse. Now Howard receives a pass left wing. This time flicks it off the boards to Savoy. Trailer is Nurse. Open Emberson. In front and a save on Roslovic. Tolopilo holding sway. Best chance of the night. Jack Roslovic just above the hash marks. He's denied.
That is our highlight zone, brought to you by Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos with 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the winner's zone. We're scoreless at Rogers Arena between the Canucks and Edmonton Oilers after 20 minutes of play. It's Brendan Escott and Rob Brown at the 880 Ched studio. Rob, we'll just start with your thoughts on Edmonton's start to this game.
Well, I thought they were the better team, albeit slightly. They had a couple of really good looks. They had good possession time. I give the Canucks credit for keeping the Oilers to the outside for the most part. And the one thing that we talked before the game is when you're playing a team that's struggling as bad as Vancouver has been, you could put the game out of reach in the first 20. The longer this stays close, there's more belief, there's more hope in the Canucks dressing room that maybe this is when things turn for them in a positive way. So the Canucks will have interest now through the final 40 minutes. I think the Oilers will get better as this game's moved on, and we've seen that in the last few games for them. But the Canucks have worked hard. They're playing them hard. It's whether or not the Canucks have enough offensive juice to create in this game. And we saw in the first period a couple opportunities, but mainly just B type of grade chances. They're not getting the A looks that they're going to need to beat Tristan Jarry, who looks very comfortable tonight.
What about this Tolopilo fella that's tending goal for Vancouver tonight? I mean, sometimes you go up against these goalies like a Lucas Dostal from a few years ago, and they're understated, and maybe when you have less of a book, but they're still a 6'5" goaltender like Tolopilo is, maybe that does present a bit of a challenge.
Well, the bigger the goalie, the less there is to look at. And as a player, you like finding twine. You like seeing a little bit of white behind the goaltender, but when he's so big, it's hard to find any of that. He's looked comfortable in there. I give him credit for that. It would be intimidating facing Connor McDavid and the high-flying Oilers. He hasn't seemed to shirk at all from it. So we talked about it before the game. He's going to have a good game for the Vancouver Canucks to come out with 2 points. I thought he had a good first. Made a couple of nice saves. The one that you just had in the replay there with Roslovic, that was the best look. That was a really nice play by the Oilers. Emberson finding Roslovic in the slot. I'm hoping as this game goes forward that the Oilers' third line, the Roslovic line, can find a little bit of traction. They've had some nice games. They have not been rewarded. We've not found the back of the net yet. This would be a good game for them to start, as they've looked very effective and dangerous through the first 20 minutes. The next step is capitalizing on your chances. We'll see as this game moves on if they're able to.
And that play that Savoy forced the turnover that generated that breakaway opportunity for him. Good non-call on that, just objectively speaking, would you say, on that breakaway there?
Well, first of all, it was a terrible play by Connor Garland. He put his defenseman in an absolutely horrendous situation. Savoy took advantage of it. In honesty, we never got the look from the other side. We saw the look from the one side, and Savoy's body blocked the camera from where the stick was lifted. The referees have the better look than we do. Typically, veteran players will get a call more so than a younger player, but there wasn't a whole bit of complaining about it, so I'm going with the ref made the right call on that one, but I don't think we got a really, really good look at it to say one way or another whether that was the right call or not.
Yeah, fair enough. Scoreless after 20 minutes of play. Just a final couple thoughts. Do you agree that sort of getting some more traffic and some more shots generated towards goal is going to be key for Edmonton moving forward in this game?
Well, it's always key against any goaltender. If he can't see it, it's harder for him to stop it. Deflection. We saw a couple of really nice deflections by the Canucks. O'Connor, a couple good ones. The second one that he deflected completely changed direction on Jarry. That was a nice save from Jarry. So the more shots you put on a goaltender, the better. What's the final shots in the period? Was it 7-6 or something along that line? That's not enough. When you're facing a goaltender you know nothing about, shoot from everywhere. You don't know what his weakness is, so try and find it. So I think going forward in the final 40 minutes, shooting more and having more chaos in front of the net. The Oilers are a very good perimeter team, but when you got to get going against a goaltender that is on his game, and he looks like it so far tonight, get into the blue paint and try finding the ugly one. I think that's the first one that's going to find its way behind him.
That's our Rob Brown. More from Brownie in the second intermission. Right now we're through 20 minutes. We're scoreless at Rogers Arena. Shots are 9-7 for the Oilers. Face-offs have slightly favored the Vancouver Canucks. No penalties to speak of. A few blocked shots going the way of the Canucks as well. And that is basically your stats story through 20 minutes of play. We'll get to the out-of-town scoreboard when we get back here to your Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Our people, our team. It's what business owners almost always say is their most important resource. But strong businesses don't just find great people. They make sure their teams stay healthy, engaged, and performing at their best. A benefits plan from Alberta Blue Cross is more than just drug and dental. They support the whole person with flexible coverage levels that fit the size and circumstance of your business. Find a plan that gets results at ab.bluecross.ca.
Do you have tickets to an upcoming event at Rogers Place that you can't attend? Donate your tickets to the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation Seats for Kids program, presented by Eagle Builders. Seats for Kids provides unused game tickets for charities, allowing children and families to enjoy hockey at Rogers Place. And for many, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. To be a part of the Seats for Kids program presented by Eagle Builders, please email edmonton@kidsupfront.com. That's edmonton@kidsupfront.com.
The Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation 50-50, presented by Rogers, is back and better than ever. With more early bird prizes, bonus raffles, and million-dollar jackpots, the largest 50-50 in professional sports can change your life forever. And every ticket purchase helps more kids, more families, and more communities in need than ever before. Get your 50-50 tickets now at edmontonoilers.com and help make OilCountry a better place. Who knows? You could be Alberta's next millionaire.
AGLC license number 744517.
Now this update from the Canadian Press. Owners of banned firearms have until March 31st to declare interest in a federal buyback program that offers compensation for turning in or permanently deactivating prohibited guns. Ottawa banned about 2,500 firearm models in 2020 and says approved owners will finalize claims in the spring. Prime Minister Mark Carney is in Qatar seeking investment and trade partnerships in sectors like AI, infrastructure, energy, and defense. He will meet with the Emir, Prime Minister, and Deputy Prime Minister and visit the Qatar Investment Authority and cultural institutions. Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen will become the first non-American to travel beyond low Earth orbit as a mission specialist on NASA's Artemis II lunar mission. The crew will fly around the far side of the moon, marking the first crewed lunar mission since 1972. And Adam Klapka had a goal and an assist to lead the Calgary Flames to a 4-2 win over the New York Islanders. Dustin Wolf stopped 28 shots for Calgary, ending a 5-game losing streak. From the Canadian Press, I'm David Augustine.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
The same AI-powered technology that helps Oilers fans move through security efficiently at Rogers Place is also available for Edmonton area schools, hospitals, and workplaces. Evolve Technology, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers and official security screening partner of Rogers Place, helps identify potential threats and create safe experiences at hockey games and wherever people gather. Visit Rogers Place to experience Evolve live or check out evolve.com for more information. That's EVOLV.com.
I'm Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And I'm Zach Hyman. And when we're not making juicy, sweet passes or having my goals disallowed, we're working for Legacy Heating and Cooling. You know, guys used to call me a plumber. And now they call you an HVAC technician. Nice.
Hey, guys, you're not here to install furnaces. You're here to sing the jingle.
Oh.
Well.
Okay. Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
No payments and no interest for 1 year from qualified installers. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
This is At the Intermission on the Oilers Radio Network.
It's time for the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Pizza 73, the official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. Of course, we're scoreless at Rogers Arena, but elsewhere, the Predators up a goal on the Golden Knights, 1-0 in the first intermission. Ducks in the same situation, 1-0 over the LA Kings after 20 minutes. Everything else is a final. The Wild beat the Sabres 5-4 in overtime. Rangers 6-3 over the Flyers. Flames doubled up the Islanders 4-2. Mammoth beat the Kraken 6-3. In overtime, the Canadians got a goal from Cole Caulfield and beat the Senators 6-5. Hurricanes beat the Devils 4-1. It was the Blue Jackets in a shootout over the Penguins 4-3. Panthers knocked off the Capitals 5-2. Overtime needed in Winnipeg as well. The Leafs beat the Jets 4-3, and Boston knocked off Chicago 5-2. Down on the farm, Bakersfield in action again tomorrow against Calgary, coming off a 5-1 victory over the Wranglers last night. And the Edmonton Oil Kings, just going to navigate to the right spot here, are they're in action tonight at home against the Tri-City Americans. We'll let you know how that one goes. It is 3-2 right now in the third period. There you go. That is the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Pizza 73, the official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. Back to Jack and Bob we go for second period action. We're at the intermission right now. This is your Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
You've been listening to At the Intermission on the Oilers Radio Network.
Zach from EPCOR here. When winter rolls in, my family's outside skating, tobogganing, and enjoying the season. But stormwater ponds aren't the place. These ponds protect our neighborhoods from flooding year-round. Even in winter, the water keeps moving under the surface, making the ice unpredictable and unsafe. Edmonton has safe spots to skate and sled, like my favorite, the Rundle Park Iceway in Toboggan Hills. Stay back, stay off, stay safe. A note from your neighbors at EPCOR.
During every Oilers game day, the Canadian Brewhouse is your hockey headquarters. Cheer on the blue and orange, surrounded by fans as passionate as you are, while sipping $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. And that's not all. Every game day, you can enter to win Oilers home game tickets. So grab your crew, grab a seat, and make the Canadian Brewhouse your go-to spot this hockey season. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Cybersecurity is not just IT, it's a business issue. One breach can halt operations and permanently damage trust. Business leaders choose Alt-Tech because they understand the stakes. Their specialists design cyber-first IT systems that protect productivity, safeguard data, and support growth. From construction to nonprofits, Canadian organizations rely on Alt-Tech to stay resilient in a digital-first world. Secure operations, strong reputation, sustainable growth. That is Alt-Tech. Visit alttech.ca. That's ALT-TECH.ca.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Back in our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth atop Rogers Arena. Second period about to start. McDavid out there with Podkolzin and Hyman offensively, and on the back end, Bouchard and Ekholm. Tristan Jarry in the pipes tonight for the Oilers. 7 saves in that first period, helping keeping the scoreless ties. We begin period 2 with a Connor McDavid face-off win. Alongside Bob Stauffer on Jack Michaels. And the second period begins with the Oilers getting it in deep. Bouchard had the puck wrestled free by Pettersson, who then spun and went cross-ice with it. Ekholm picked it off and hacked it back into the Vancouver zone. Canucks in the black, red, and yellow. Oilers in their road whites with the blue pants and orange trim. Steal by Hyman at the Oiler blue line, across to Podkolzin. Left wing tried to feather in front for Bouchard, the trailer. Brock Besser went down to one knee to make sure, and then it was scooped back to center. Liam Ogren lost the handle. Oilers control. Podkolzin back to the D. This time it's Nurse on that left side. Bouchard set to change. His captain will drop it back to Nurse. Onto the ice, Ty Emberson receives a pass from Nurse and then gives it right back to him. Spilled in by Nugent Hopkins. That's going to be recovered by Marcus Pettersson. Swung off a stick. Kapanen with a chance. Right circle down low to Nugent Hopkins. He waits. He peers inside. Fires a pass up top for Emberson. Then back to Nugent Hopkins. Evander Kane. Their teammate, of course, Kane's Best year was the 21-22 season when he joined the Oilers midway through and tied for the league lead in postseason goals. Nugent-Hopkins charging back in. Nurse will hammer it back behind the net. Roenick got there. Oh, a big hit on Evander Kane as Emberson stepped up and flattened Evander Kane hard off the boards and out. Kapanen at center. You got to love that, Bob.
Yeah.
Big hit by Emberson on Kane. Nurse hammered one up the left-hand side, and it's Isaac Howard trying to thread it through the hulking Tyler Myers. Eventually got it down low to Savoy on the half wall. Wallman calling for the puck. Instead, Savoy tried to bump it over to Howard. That was broken up. Ratu and quickly sifted out by Bouillon. Stepping up is Atu Ratu, a wrist shot off the rush, and a good save by Tristan Jarry as that one flew off his right shoulder and sailed out of play with 2 and change gone by here in the second period. We are still scoreless. Last year, Bob, Edmonton was 17-7-1 on the road against the West. Best record in the league. This year, just 4-4-3.
Yeah. Losses in Calgary, losses in Vancouver in overtime, Calgary in regulation, and no shots in the first 2-11.
And when you're trying to win your first division title since 1987, you can't let those games get away. Not against teams that don't look like they'll be making the playoffs. Garland fired one in front. Vilander up top. His shot does not make its way through. Connor Garland shadowed and then fired to the opposite corner. As the Oilers are below 500 against teams currently in a playoff position, so they got to make their hay when they get games like this against a Vancouver club trying to avoid a 10-game losing streak. Edmonton rallied to beat Winnipeg when the Jets were floundering. Oilers haven't fallen behind tonight, but they haven't jumped out on top either. Vilander ahead for Connor Garland. Hits the line. Vilander, quick shot, save Jarry. He'll keep it moving up the right-hand side for Matthias Ekholm. Janmark, his target, finds him at center ice. Janmark looks for a trailer. It's Wallman. Ahead to Lazar. Now Roslovic loads, dishes, and a backhander score. What a move by Jack Roslovic. His backhander finds its way home. And Edmonton takes a 1-0 lead. Roslovic had not had a point in his last 7. Vancouver felt there was contact, but Edmonton will take the lead. Discussion, meanwhile, between referee Tom Shimolevsky and Kyle Murchison. Did Lazar make contact with Tolopilo?
He definitely made contact with him. The question is, did Sassoon push him in?
And, of course, Adam Foote has the option to challenge here. But for now, Roslovic credited with his 13th of the year. And, again, his first point of any kind in 8 games. Dragged it to the backhand, and it somehow slipped through Tolopilo. I'm wondering whether Lazar made contact with a left pad, which allowed it to funnel through.
I think that this is going to come off the board, Jack.
Well, he's going to have to challenge it first, Bob. It's not going to come off the board without a challenge. Called a goal on the ice. They're taking a long look on the Vancouver bench. And, of course, the risk you take if you're the opposition is do you put Edmonton's league best power play on a man advantage?
And we'd be remiss without mentioning Tolopilo's trying to buy some more time for the coaching staff here.
Checking the pads out, getting his equipment.
Yep.
I don't think there's a challenge here. Roslovic, his 13th at 3:11. It'll count, and Edmonton's up 1-0. And now Adam Foote
they are going to challenge.
Waves it. Boy, he took a long time.
Well, that was a cagey move by the guy in the cage.
Graham Skilleter is now at the Vancouver bench. They still have not officially made the challenge. Now Skilleter's coming over, and predictably we'll have an announcement here.
Vancouver's challenging the play for goaltender interference prior to the goal.
So let's see.
I think it's coming off the board. I think he got a piece of him. Lazar was skating towards the front net. He did get a backside push from Sassoon.
Does he make contact in the blue paint? Because if Tolopilo's above the blue paint, Lazar, who's trying to put the brakes on, has the right to that ice as well. I don't know.
I'm going to be stunned if this stays on the board. I think this is coming off.
Let's see. Tolopilo is right on the edge of the blue paint. Lazar's right skate makes contact with him right on that red line at the top of the blue paint. Very close. This is a tough one. This is not an easy call. And that's why Vancouver took such a long look at it. Because remember, it's called a goal on the ice. Is there enough to overturn? We're about to find out. Here's Shimoleski.
After coach's challenge video review, it was determined it was the actions of the defensive player that caused the offensive player to go in. There was no goaltender interference on the ice stands.
So Sassoon with the push. I'm a little surprised by that, Jack. I got to tell you, Oilers get a chance in the power play here, though.
So the challenge fails. The goal counts for Roslovic. It's his 13th. And Sassoon guilty of riding Lazar into his own goaltender. Now Vancouver, who struggled mightily on the last 5 games of the road trip. They gave up 6 goals in 12 tries. So their penalty kill is struggling. And Edmonton's the number 1 power play in the league.
It's 31st against first. 72.1% for the Canucks, and the Oilers power play at 33.3.
David Kampf wins the draw against Connor McDavid. Pumped up the left-hand side, cut off by Wallman, who replaces Draisaitl on the first power play unit. So Wallman and Bouchard at the points, McDavid, Nugent-Hopkins, and Hyman. McDavid, who has 9 power play goals, Nugent-Hopkins, Hyman, and Bouchard all with 6. Bouchard dishes. One-timer Wallman and a save made by Tolopilo. And the rebound rammed off the left boards and out.
That was a rocket.
Here's McDavid. Over the line, Nugent-Hopkins. Linus Karlsson serving the penalty for Vancouver. Bouchard to Nugent-Hopkins. McDavid, side of the net. Bouchard in the slot. Shot save. Tolopilo rebound behind him, but not covered. Still available. Myers standing at the far post. Hyman couldn't tuck it home, and finally it's whistled down. Myers just anchored himself at the far post. And the Oilers unable to finish.
Yeah, couldn't find the loose change. And other things Edmonton's going to miss. I mean, Draisaitl's obviously an elite-level finisher. He's also their primary face-off man at 56%. McDavid at 47%. Nugent-Hopkins at 46.5%. The 2 center options here to take draws.
Here's Roenick, hard rim up the right-hand side. And Bob, for now, they're saying that Lazar got a piece of that puck.
I'm amazed by that.
So it's Lazar's 4th from Roslovic and Wallman officially as of now. Here's Wallman in across the line to Nugent-Hopkins, top of the left circle, McDavid. That's the official call at 3:11 of the second. Now the Oilers look to build on that 1-0 lead. Bouchard in the high slot. Wallman right face-off dunk. Hyman net front presence. McDavid left point. Nugent-Hopkins now with possession, top of the left circle. McDavid left side, centering pass off the stick of Tolopilo. That was a nice play by the goaltender, forcing Edmonton back into its own end. Lead pass, Bouchard and Nugent-Hopkins missed, but Hyman's ahead of the field, so no icing. Roenick spun it off his stick, but Wallman was there to gather and send it over to McDavid. Power play about to be over. One-timer and a save. Tolopilo on Wallman. Denied twice by the Vancouver goaltender. That was a dangerous pass by McDavid, and Wallman denied. Now it's Garland to Pettersson with Vancouver back at full strength. Pettersson made one spin move, but then taken off his stick by Nurse. Karlsson up top. Shot Mancini and a save Tristan Jarry. Remains 1-0 for the Oilers as Nugent-Hopkins clears to Roslovic. Worked up the right-hand side by the Canucks. Pedersen on to Evander Kane. Bouncing puck corralled finally by Garland. He'll spin, and now we're going to have a penalty for high sticking on Garland. And the Oilers will go right back to the man advantage with an opportunity to extend this 1-0 lead.
Vancouver, number 8, 2-minute minor, high sticking.
Power play brought to you by our friends at Atco Energy. Now they've switched it back to Roslovic, which is what I thought originally. So, as usual, the offense.
You had it right. I'm still surprised at Counter, Jack, I got to tell you.
So Roslovic is 13th from Lazar and Wallman. Is that the final decision?
And I've had a run here of about 7 in a row right. I didn't think that was going to count. But, again, Sassoon did give Lazar a little bit of a shot. See if Connor can win a draw here to start the power play.
Second power play of the game. It's brought to you by Atco Energy, your trusted energy retailer. Face-off win for the Canucks, but now McDavid is able to plow through traffic and return it to Wallman up top for Evan Bouchard. Now McDavid left face-off dot to the net, and that was knifed away by Marcus Pedersen. Here's McDavid leaving it for Bouchard just inside the blue line. Back to McDavid. Gets it back from Nugent-Hopkins. Nugent-Hopkins gliding behind the net. Centering. One-timer ripped right into the chest of Tolofilo by Evan Bouchard. That was 90 mile an hour plus. But with 6:20 gone by in this second period, it remains 1-0 Edmonton.
Edmonton did an excellent job on puck recovery after McDavid lost the draw. But they had no net front presence there. Hyman was boxed out quite effectively. Bouchard from distance, and swallowing that up was the 6'6" Tolopilo.
McDavid digging in against Atu Ratu.
Ratu's a good face-off, man. He's at 60%, Jack.
Won another draw. Vancouver again can't clear, but Pedersen did a nice job of shielding and allowing Roenick to come over and whistle it around the right-hand side. Actually scored it through Jari, so it's a total reload for Edmonton with 1:15 left in the high stick on Garland. McDavid jitterbugging his way in from the right-hand side. Kicked it back to Bouchard. Slide step to his right against O'Connor. Loads, dishes, backhander save, rebound, score! Zach Hyman got it through Tolofilo. And his 7th power play goal of the year extends Edmonton's lead to 2-0. Hyman, 7 on the power play, 17 on the season, and the Oilers up a deuce. They make Garland pay.
Jack, I thought Hyman was going to be hard-pressed to get to the 25-goal plateau. He's got 17 goals now in 30 games. He's got a chance to get to 30 goals. I mean, just... And that's kind of how it's a Zach Hyman goal. Bouchard with the net drive, and Hyman found the loose change and poked it home.
Time 6:49. I'm not sure Tolofilo is going to be enthralled with that goal. Little backhander from Hyman. Yes, close quarters, but it gets through Tolofilo, and Edmonton extends to a 2-goal lead. Remember, Kevin Lankinen, who has not had a great record against Edmonton, I believe 1-4 career, was feeling a bit under the weather, unable to go tonight, although he is backing up. But Colson dumps it in, looking for Roslovic, who got the first goal of the period. Now he sets up Kapanen. Kapanen was stripped from behind by Evander Kane, held in by Matthias Ekholm behind the net for Podkolzin. So the Oilers with some breathing room at 2-0. Nurse sent it back down low. Tyler Myers to Evander Kane, swatted it off the half wall. And now you've got Liam Ogren taken away. Podkolzin to the net, wrist shot, held and then dropped by Tolofilo. And cleared the other way. Tracking is Ekholm to settle it for Edmonton. One at even strength, one on the power play for the Oilers here in the second period after a scoreless first. Kapanen to Roslovic. Spins and launches one into the corner, and it hit an official. Ty Emberson unable to make a play on it. And now a reset for the Canucks. Tyler Myers with 12 minutes to go in period 2. Oilers up 2-0, trying to draw within 2 points of the Pacific Division lead held by Vegas, who rallied and beat Toronto the other night. Now Sassone in front. Quick sharp angle chance for Baines. That was blocked. Rebound. Carlson tried to give it up, but that was tipped away by Andrew Mangiapane. Right now, Nashville leads the Golden Knights in Vegas 1-0 midway through the second period. Here it's 2-0 Edmonton against Vancouver. Max Sassone shoots wide from a sharp angle as he dashed down the left wing. By the way, give McDavid credit for the second assist on the Hyman power play goal, and after seeing his 20-game point streak snapped against Ilya Sorokin in New York on Thursday, another streak begins anew for the league's leading point getter. That's point number 83 for McDavid. Garland into the offensive zone, got steamrolled by Hyman. Burrowing inside is Drew O'Connor to try to free it up. Garland did. Here's a shot. And that was blistered up over top of the glove of Jari. Came off the glass, held in by Garland. Shot by Roenick, blocked by McDavid. Garland has the ricochet. Tried to feed it off the pads of Jari, who knocked that down and sent it back into the corner. Garland able to wrestle it free from McDavid inside. O'Connor denied by Jari. And the rebound for Matthias Ekholm. Pumped up the right-hand side. Pettersson tried to step up, but it was booted down the ice by Trent Frederick. Gathered by Garland. He had his pocket picked from behind. Good play by Hyman. Now it's McDavid rolling out wide. Roenick stays with him. McDavid spawns centered. Nurse's shot denied. Rebound open net. Hyman eventually got it on net. And a save made by Tolofilo. He had his stick tied up initially, and Tolofilo was able to recover in time. What a whirling dervish maneuver by McDavid to set up Nurse, and after Tolofilo spilled the rebound, Hyman's stick tied up long enough by Pettersson. By the time he did manage to muscle it on net, Frederick involved as well. Tolofilo was able to put it to rest and keep the game at 2-0. But Roslovic and Hyman have broken through, and Edmonton leads on the road at Rogers Arena in Vancouver. It's 2-0 with 10-12 to play in the second period, and this is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Edmonton. Big moves need big talent, and AMJ is your go-to partner. For all local residential and commercial relocations, AMJ delivers a smooth, stress-free experience. AMJ, your team for every move. Contact your local branch today.
Rogers is Canada's most reliable 5G Plus network, so you can stream Edmonton Oilers games and see Leon scoring in Leduc. Watch Ty tie things up in Tofield. Or check out Connor doing Connor things in Kalmar. And even catch Boosh Bombs in Beaumont. Try saying that 3 times fast. Rogers, this is our game.
Find more ways to save at Real Canadian Superstore. Unlock savings through always low-priced items, multi-save, club size, fresh promise, hit of the month offers, ad match, and more. Find everything you need from grocery staples, fresh produce, prepared meals, and multicultural assortments to clothing, home, entertainment, health, and beauty. Plus, PC Optimum members save more. Open the PC Optimum app to load exclusive super coupons and weekly points offers. Real Canadian Superstore. Proudly Canadian. See weekly flyer for details.
Hey, Edmonton. Big moves need big talent, and AMJ is your go-to partner. For all local residential and commercial relocations, AMJ delivers a smooth, stress-free experience. AMJ, your team for every move. Contact your local branch today.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
2-0 hockey game. Edmonton on top. Roslovic at even strength after a scoreless first. 3 minutes into the second period. Lazar and Woolman, they reviewed it. They awarded Edmonton a power play. The Oilers didn't cash in, but then Garland took a high-sticking minor, and Edmonton did score on the Atco power play, so now it's 2-0. Hyman, his 17th of the year. Bouchard and McDavid were the helpers. And now Isaac Howard looks for more. Offensive zone draw for the Oilers. Roslovic and Savoy can't connect, and the Canucks eventually manage a clear. DeBrusk ahead for Z. Bouillon. Nearly turned over by Woolman. Recovered for a moment by Kampf. Roslovic had it and then lost it to Kampf. Woolman rolls over. with a secondary layer of coverage beneath the goal line for Edmonton in the defensive zone. DeBrusque won a board battle against Roslovic out to Myers. Across, a shot by Bouillon redirected wide of a screen. Tristan Jarry, who's been perfect thus far on 11 shots tonight. The Oilers get a clear. Edmonton has outshot Vancouver 20-11. And more importantly, 11-4 in the second period. So now you've got Myers working his way in from the right-hand side. Nurse negates that, clears successfully up to Kapanen. He'll backhand it in from center. Liam Ogren back to collect for Vancouver. Shot by Nurse, save Tolopilo. Rebound, it's Emberson. Now Nurse. Emberson, sharp angle shot, slid wide. Tolopilo came off the boards. You've got Kapanen. He's engaged with Besser. And finally raked free by Pettersson. On to Brock Besser. Defending his Nurse. He'll wind it around. Pettersson. Besser. From the right half board. Shoots. Save Jarry and the rebound available. But Pettersson fanned on it. Or it's probably 2-1. Emberson under control for the Oilers. Whistles one ahead for Nugent-Hopkins. Breakaway. Kapanen shoots and scores. 3-0. Edmonton. Kasperi Kapanen. His second goal of the year. And the Oilers finding some secondary scoring tonight on the road in Vancouver. Nugent-Hopkins in game number 999 will collect the primary assist. Oilers in control, 3-0 midway through the second.
Well, two great passes by Edmonton. First, Emerson right up the middle to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. That dissects three forwards. And then speaking of dissecting, precision from Nugent-Hopkins as he funnels one through right on the tape. Breakaway for Kapanen. And it was buried home. Terrific transition from Edmonton.
3 goals in 8.5 minutes has broken open a scoreless tie. And now the Oilers have a 3-goal lead. And Vancouver trails by 3. I believe, Bob, this is the 7th time in the last 10 games they've trailed by at least 3 goals. Shot by Bouchard. That sailed wide from distance on the right side. Garland able to clear back through the red line. It's Bouchard jumping up for Mangiapane. Angled off the boards for Matthias Janmark. Vancouver in desperate straits. Janmark returns down low for Lazar, who, remember, was involved in that Roslovic goal that kind of unlocked the dam a little bit. And the Oilers have taken charge and are now up 3-0. Bouchard put the brakes on against Drew O'Connor. Line change for Vancouver. And it's a leisurely path for Bouchard as he elects what to do. He'll actually back off in his own end. Try the right-hand side for Hyman. That pass did not connect. Tolopilo will leave it for Roenick. Up the gut, and now you've got Max Sasson. Forced out wide by Stastny. Sasson up top. Roenick. Left point shot. Pettersson redirected. Save made. Jarry. Rebound still loose. And Jarry had an active stick to punch it free for Podkolzin on to McDavid. Roenick back defensively. Here's Podkolzin. Swarmed under by Sasson. Without Leon Draisaitl tonight, and with just a secondary assist from Connor McDavid, Edmonton has built a 3-0 second period lead. Shot in by Linus Karlsson. Jarry hammered it off his own man, Stastny. Picked up and cleared by Wallman without further incident. And now McDavid double teamed as he hit the Vancouver line. Dropped it for Podkolzin. McDavid now with a point in 22 of his last 23 against the Canucks. Here's Wallman down the slot. A shot wide glove side. Rebound funneled back in front as Savoy looked for loose change. And now you've got Roenick looking to get it to Belander. Pouncing on it instead will be Isaac Howard. He's double teamed and coughed it up. Camp up the left-hand side for Evander Kane with Emberson back. Belander filled the lane, but no, that's denied and forced out wide for DeBrusque. And David Camp behind the net. Quick shot, save on Mancini. Rebound squirted free. Jake DeBrusque on the puck, served it up. Bouillon swung it around for Evander Kane. Centering pass, deflected. Camp can't stuff it home. Jarry made the save. Rebound cleared to Howard by Savoy. Roslovic fills the lane. Howard centers and Roslovic Roslovic punches it home. And finally that line breaks through. What a feed from Howard. Buried for Roslovic. His second of the night. And Edmonton running Vancouver right out of the building. 4-0 Oilers.
Well, this line could be absolutely critical for the Oilers, because if they can get some juice going here and create 5-on-5, and who you know the answer to this, who led the Carolina Hurricanes in 5-on-5 scoring last season, was Jack Roslovic. And he's got a pair of 5-on-5 goals in this game tonight. What a pass by Isaac Howard.
Head up the whole way. And just fired one through the wickets of Mancini. And Roslovic able to tuck. 5.5 to go, second period. Oilers now with 4 goals in a span of 11 minutes and 20 seconds. And 0-0 has become 4-0. And now you can hear the Oiler fans cascading chants throughout Rogers Arena. What do they call it, a takeover? I think Edmonton has staged one here in Vancouver tonight. Nugent Hopkins rolls off a check in front, buried by Kapanen. What a feed from Nugent Hopkins. No chance from Tolopilo. And Kapanen's second of the period has given Edmonton a 5-0 lead.
Wow. That's a three-way passing play. Frederick fenced into the wall by Myers, was able to get it to Nugent Hopkins. Reverse pivots off the wall, beats Pedersen, and sneaking in on the backside, Kapanen's second goal of the period.
Wow. That's some feed. Nugent Hopkins shook off Pedersen. Kapanen ducked inside on Bouillon and buried it. 5 goals now in a span of less than 12 minutes. 2 goals in 37 seconds. And Vancouver's just getting walloped. Ratu sends it in deep. 5-goal period for the Oilers. Drew O'Connor, a blast wide. Pedersen, rebound swung in front. Quietly, Jari's been very good tonight.
Yes.
Here's a sharp angle chance by O'Connor. Vancouver has had some opportunities in tight. There's another one funneled through. This one Jari briefly spilled against Pedersen, his old teammate, before reeling it back into his equipment and keeping this a 5-0 Edmonton bulge. The Oilers have broken it open in British Columbia. They're up big. This is 4 Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. You know, Alberta's a special place. From the Rockies to the Plains, it's a land of hard work and big dreams. If you're going to tackle it all, you need a truck that can keep up. That's why I can't say enough about my Ford F-150. It's more than a truck. It's a partner. Rugged toughness, serious capability, and smart features that make your life easier, like available Pro Power onboard. The Ford F-150. Get yours today at your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
To the fans who bleed orange and blue, never miss a game, and are always on the edge of their seat. Show your passion for the Oilers and cheer on the team at Molson Oilers Game Day Live. Attend throughout the season for your chance to win 2026-27 Edmonton Oilers season seats. Be there for the next Game Day Live event on January 22nd at the Mill Craft Bar and Kitchen. For the full event schedule and to RSVP to the Ultimate Oilers Watch Party, visit OilersGameDayLive.com. Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Oilers 50-50 jackpot currently sitting at 375,000 plus. The raffle jackpot is well over $315,000, supporting Casa Mental Health, Central Alberta Child Advocacy Center, and the Zebra Center, which provides support, advocacy, and mental health care for children and youth impacted by abuse and trauma. Get your tickets now, EdmontonOilers.com/5050. Well, it was 0-0 after 1, and Vancouver was hanging around. They're hanging around no more. The Oilers have broken it open. Roslovic and Kapanen each with a pair at even strength. Hyman with a power play goal. It's 5-0. The 5 goals in less than 12 minutes. Here's Nugent Hopkins. Kapanen shot by Frederick, and that's rocketed out of play as Myers got his stick in the lane. 5-0 Oilers. Exactly what they needed. A big bust out. And we told you that the last time they were shut out 1-0, they got 9 the next game. Well, none in the first period. They're back on track with 5 in the second. And even Bob is happy.
And just for your hat trick watch purposes, Jack, both Roslovic and Kapanen each have 2 hat tricks in their NHL career.
Here's Emerson, who helped trigger the goal scored by Kapanen to make it 3-0. He's since added a goal to make it 5-0. Connor McDavid, little give and go down low. With Emerson, Canucks are able to take it away from Podkolzin and chip it in for Garland. 3 minutes, 40 seconds to go in this second period. And Edmonton has busted this one wide open as the Oilers trying to shake off a 2-game losing streak. Here's McDavid charging in, drop pass, shot, score! Vasily Podkolzin! A first-round pick of the Canucks in 2019 has just made it 6-0 from McDavid. 6 goals in the second period for Edmonton.
Well, Connor McDavid tries to drive Rodick inside. The puck gets swept off his stick. I think this one's going to be unassisted. 11th goal of the season for Vasily Podkolzin. The Canucks traded him to Edmonton on August the 18th of 2024. That was 2 days before the Oilers management team had to make the decision on Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg. And suffice to say, for the life of me, I can't figure out what Rick Tocchet didn't like about Vasily Podkolzin. Because Rick's a good coach and Vasily's a hard-working, honest player.
What did Podkolzin say when he got up this morning?
I don't know.
I'm not playing with Draisaitl. I guess I'm stuck with McDavid.
Yes.
Here's Harsh Deep Baines. Max Sasson stolen away by Savoy. Isaac Howard bursts the speed across the line left wing for Jack Roslovic. That is 6 goals in 13 and a half minutes for Edmonton. And 3 goals in a span of 2:03. Sasson in from the right-hand side. I was right. McDavid the assist.
Oh, if you listen to these broadcasts enough, you're often right.
I always have the final say.
Yes, you do.
2.5 to go in the second period. So McDavid with 2 helpers tonight. 84 points on the season. That leads the NHL. And the Edmonton Oilers are well on their way to crawling for now within 2 points of first place Vegas in the Pacific. Off a dump in, Jari tried to swing it through Evander Kane, who knocked it down with his shoulder, and then on the way up the right-hand side, the puck clipped a player on the Vancouver bench. So a faceoff will come back in the Edmonton zone with 2:03 to go, and we'll take one final timeout here in the second period. It's all Edmonton all the time. 6 goals on 16 shots in the second period. Vancouver with none. Blowout for the Oilers at Rogers Arena. And you're listening to it right here, the Oilers Radio Network.
If you ever find yourself needing collision repair, CarStar is here to help make accidents unhappen. Any make, any model. That said, there are some accidents CarStar can't make unhappen, such as accidentally waking a hibernating bear, accidentally biting into a raw habanero pepper, accidentally throwing a frisbee at a beehive. CarStar, Canada's trusted collision repair expert, is here to make car accidents unhappen. For a location near you, visit carstar.ca.
40 years strong in Western Canada. He
Pizza 73 has been serving up the pizza you crave. From their famous pan pizzas and golden crispy wings to bold new creations like stuffed crust and the all-new volcano pizza. They keep bringing the flavor. Born in Oil Country, made in Oil Country. They're proud to be serving Edmonton since 1985. Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Order now at pizza73.com.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Take in the ultimate game day experience at Selly Sports Bar and Lounge. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options and off-track betting. Feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Don't miss a second of the action at Century Casino.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Well, for the second time in a week, Nikita Tolopilo has seen 6 pucks get behind him. But tonight, unlike Monday, in the loss to Montreal, 6 have gotten behind him in 1 period. It was scoreless after 1. Now it's 6-0 Oilers with 2:03 to play in the second. And Edmonton's turned out the lights on Vancouver's hopes of breaking its 9-game losing streak. Instead, for only the second time in their club history, the Canucks will have dropped 10 in a row. Last time was January 1998. Well, Kane finished off Emberson. That was Bob's reaction. Wow. And, of course, that was answer for an earlier hit by Emberson on Kane. Now Nurse takes a lead pass from Nugent-Hopkins. Fires on net. A save made by Tolopilo. With 1:36 to go in the second, keeping the score at 6-0. Roslovic and Kapanen each with a pair. Hyman on the power play, and Vasily Podkolzin scoring his 11th goal of the season.
Still haven't given Frederick credit for his second assist.
1:36 to go in period 2.
On the Oilers' 5th goal, Kapanen's second of the game.
Nugent-Hopkins against Elias Pettersson. Face off to Tolopilo's right-hand side. Cleanly won by Pettersson. Driven up the right-hand side for Connor Garland. Finds Pettersson. Scoots in, drops it off for Besser. He waits, dishes, one-timer from distance. Save on Marcus Pettersson by goaltender Tristan Jarry. Across to Tyler Myers. Tried to duck inside Frederick, and that did not pan out. These two teams will not see one another again until the regular season finale. Who knows? Edmonton might be playing for a division title at that point. Oilers trying to hunt down Vegas. They're going to do their part tonight, but the Golden Knights have got 2 second-period goals to take a 2-1 lead on Nashville entering the third. Kapanen, with 1 minute to go in the period, turned it over as he hit the Vancouver blue line. Now Pettersson the other way, left to right for the Canucks. Tried to scoop it toward Jarry. Ekholm was having none of it. Laid a glove on it, left it on the deck for Connor McDavid, who has 2 assists in this second period. On to Ekholm. Half minute to go now. Hyman, hard rim around the boards. That might escape the zone. McDavid came over to try to hold on to it, but instead out to center. Ekholm to Bouchard. Now Hyman. Breaking in McDavid. Waits, fires one over the net. Rebound came out in front off the boards and held by Tolopilo with 12 seconds to go in the second period. And the Oilers holding a commanding 6-0 lead.
Can't recall the last time Edmonton got 6 goals in a period, Jack.
Well, that's why we have a research team. April 27th, 2013. Third period against Vancouver. And that might have been, was that a hat trick night for Yakupov? And as I recall, you and I were a little surprised to see them leave Luongo in.
Yeah.
Because the Vancouver Canucks were on their way to the playoffs. The Oilers were playing out the string.
Yakupov got 5 goals in the final 2 games that year.
Yeah, I think he had a hat trick that night.
And finished with 17 to lead the team.
6 6 goals in the third period against Vancouver. And we're being told that was the last time nearly 13 years ago. One last puck drop to the right side of Tolopilo, and Tyler Myers will stick handle it out. The shots in that period, almost irrelevant. 17 for the Oilers, and for the Canucks, 9. Tristan Jarry perfect on 16 through 40 minutes. And the Oilers are up 6-0. The only lasting suspense in this game, obviously the clean sheet for Jarry, but more importantly, I think for Edmonton, if you think about Jarry's first couple starts, they had big leads, and they gave up chances late in the game. Jarry, I think, gave up 3 goals in the final 2 minutes of his first 2 starts for the Oilers. I think there might be a reminder in that dressing room, hey, let's play hard to the wire tonight, make sure we insulate our goaltender.
Yep, that's completely fair.
Is that fair on
it is.
Jarry's first couple starts? Do you remember as I do?
Yeah, sure. They gave up some cheap goals late in the game. The other thing I'll say, Jack, is they got their defense. This is their defense with Wallman in tonight, and he's contributed a bit.
Third game back, starting to feel like himself.
Right, so he's playing with Stastny together in their pseudo third period. Emerson's having a good year. I mean, that play he made to Nugent Hopkins to set up the Kapanen breakaway, that was a great play. He's a big plus this year. So their D's, I think, got a little bit different. At the start of the year, people thought the Oilers' defense, some people thought it was a top 5 or 6 defense in the league. It never got off that way, and part of it was they weren't getting on of stops early in the year as well. And I would say, well, as much a part of that was the play of the D, but Wallman's injury. Wallman was concussed in the preseason, missed a lot of time. I don't think he looked particularly quick when he came back. He looks way better right now. Of course, he blocked the shot, suffered a hairline fracture against the Tampa Bay Lightning on that extended road trip. So anyways, bottom line here, 6-0 after 2. And a really solid performance from Edmonton in the second period, and contributions throughout the lineup. I mean, every line has got an even strength goal in this game.
You ready to be happy?
Jack, how you doing? What's going on?
Are you ready to be happy?
You trying to get me to smile or what?
No, are you ready to be happy?
They still got 20 more
Tell
miles.
Tell me about the scoring change.
Did they give Frederick the assist?
No, they took McDavid's away. You're right. Vasily put goals unassisted, 16-34.
I would rather see Connor get the assist. Anyhow, bottom line, 6-0 after 2.
So, 20 minutes of continuous play. If it's on the table in the third period, I think we'd all take that. The Oilers with a virtuoso performance again for the first time in more than a decade. Boy, Tyler, I'll tell you what, he's straightening out my color blindness, and now he's got stats for us. Bob, start giving this guy a little of that, hard-earned money you won last night in the casino.
Oh, I didn't. I was at the stop, the humble stopper abode.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, thank you for outing me on the air, though. Much appreciated.
Oh, yeah, because you've never alluded to the fact that you may or may not have spent some time in a casino.
I did
on your show.
I did had one of the biggest wins of my career all time at the JW Park Marriott, by the way, Jack. So there you go. Yes.
6-0 Edmonton after 2. In that second period, the damage inflicted included 3 goals in a span of 2:03, 6 goals in 13:23. Edmonton behind 2 from Roslovic, 2 from Kapanen, and 1 each from Hyman and Podkolzin has already salted this one away. Well, Brendan and Rob, nevertheless, will tell you what their thoughts were on that middle frame. They'll do that after this. Ford Dealers NHL Hockey continues in just a moment. The Oilers Radio Network.
Heard the news? ATCO Energy wants to welcome you with a $100 bonus. Get ATCO Energy's best electricity rate at 7.68 cents per kilowatt hour. And up to $100 off your bill. Now we're talking. Yeah! Switch and save today at atcoenergy.com. Conditions apply. Customers are free to purchase natural gas services or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822, toll free in Alberta.
It's our YEG with 880 Chad.
Aching to get your boots on the ground? Big Valley Jamboree returns July 30th to August 2nd with Old Dominion, Riley Green, Keith Urban, and more. Tickets at BigValleyJamboree.com. Then, whether you're hammering out new renos or getting primed for inspo, the Edmonton Renovation Show hits the Expo Center January 30th to February 1st with everything homeowners need. Tickets on sale now.
For details on these and more events, visit 880ched.com. This This is At the Intermission on the Oilers Radio Network.
Jari made the save. Rebound cleared to Howard by Savoy. Roslovic fills the lane. Howard centers and Roslovic punches it home. And finally that line breaks through. What a feed from Howard. Buried for Roslovic. His second of the night. And Edmonton running Vancouver right out of the building. 4-0 Oilers.
We sit at 6-0 Oilers after an offensive outburst, the likes of which we haven't seen this year in one frame anyway. A 6-goal frame for your Oilers. That is the Highlight Zone, brought to you by Century Casinos. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos with 3 great locations in Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the Winner's Zone. Oilers fast track to the Winner's Zone. I think Jack alluded to it. If we can get a period without any whistles here the rest of the way, that would be ideal given what the Oilers have already accomplished here. Rob Brown, what was the key to the success there in that frame?
Both teams would take a no-whistle period here, both Vancouver and Edmonton. And actually, both teams would prefer they just cancel the game after 40. This game ended for the Vancouver Canucks on the second power play that the Oilers had when they scored. They gave up the first goal, 1-0. They challenge it, and I thought it was worth a challenge. Yeah, I think it was one of those could go either way. You're a Canuck team that's lost, so many in a row. You're like, all right, let's just take a chance. And then they kill the penalty off, and the Canucks have some life. But then they take a careless stick penalty. Connor Garland gets his stick up, and now they're killing again. And you just can't give the Oilers more than one power play. You start giving them multiple ones. I mean, you're asking for trouble. And when the Oilers scored on that one, there would have been an obvious deflate on the bench of the Vancouver Canucks. One of those, here we go again moments. You're down 2-0. You're not creating any offense. You haven't scored. I think they had 9 goals on a 6-game road trip. You could tell by their play the rest of the period. It was no details, no finished checks, not back on the back check, no one taking a look in front of their own nets. They gave their rookie goaltender, no chance. So this game was over. When the Oilers went up 2-0, that was the end of the night for the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah, I'm getting texts from people saying, boy, it just looks like they've checked out of it emotionally. And I guess, when you look at the scoreline, that's kind of what it seems to be. But I don't know that any professional athlete ever quits. It's just they got completely bulldozed offensively, and a lot of it coming off of the rush, too. Like that goal that we played the highlight of there, that was such a nice pass by Ike Howard to Jack Roslovic for the tip for that 4-0 goal. But I mean, as Bob said, there was the stretch pass there from Nugent Hopkins up to Kasperi Kapanen. There was a lot really to like. They were slicing and dicing them.
There was. Now, the team doesn't check out. It's not like they stopped trying. But what stops happening is the details. It's hard work to be detailed. It's hard work being on the proper side defensively, being in the proper passing lane, proper shooting lane. That extra step you need coming back on a back check. So what is lost in this game for the Canucks has been their details, and the Oilers have picked them apart because of that. Emerson has had an excellent hockey game, a really, really good game, and it started with a huge hit on Evander Kane. Not a lot of guys take runs at Kane. Emerson did. He made a great play in the first period to Roslovic, setting him up in the slot, didn't go in. Then the stretch pass that eventually created the breakaway goal for Kapanen. The Oilers, everyone's feeling it right now. They're feeling good. You can sense when the other team, there's a lull. You can sense when you own them. And the Edmonton Oilers had that feeling in the second period. And 6-0 was probably the least it was going to be. The Vancouver Canucks really created nothing. And the 1 or 2 chances that they had, Tristan Jarry's looked fine. So this has been a complete game by the Edmonton Oilers from top to bottom. Everyone has contributed in this game through 40 minutes.
Well, and that's what I was going to highlight next. Is just you look at the goal scorers themselves, and I don't know if I'm oversimplifying this, but on a night where they don't have Draisaitl, they do have goals from Roslovic ×2, Kapanen ×2, and Podkolzin as well. Like, these are, in theory, depth scorers on any other night that have risen to the occasion here with the big dog out.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, the Oilers, we consider them Stanley Cup contenders. And that means if Connor's out for a couple games, they should still win hockey games. If Leon's out, they should still win hockey games because they're more than two players. They're much better with Leon. They're much better with Connor. But if you can't win hockey games, especially against teams like Vancouver that everybody is beating right now, well, then you can't be considered a contending team. And the Oilers are. And when a player is out of the lineup and you are moved up and you are getting more ice time than you normally do, you take advantage of it. You want to show what you're capable of doing. Frederick's on the second line. He wants to be higher in the lineup. Here's a chance. Mangiapane out of the press box. Here's a chance. You deserve more ice time. And on the power play, they got Wallman on the power play. Everyone wants to show well in this extra ice time, and they have tonight. So, I mean, take the game with a grain of salt. Everybody right now is beating the Vancouver Canucks. So it's not as though this is Vegas or Colorado or Dallas. But the Oilers are doing what they're supposed to be doing. They are taking advantage of a team that is on a terrible spiral right now. And the Oilers are playing well. They're being rewarded for their good play.
6-0 is the reward through 40 minutes of play. We'll get back to more intermission coverage with the out-of-town scoreboard in just a couple of minutes. Right now, we are at the intermission, and this is your Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Rogers is Canada's most reliable 5G Plus network, so you can stream Edmonton Oilers games and see Leon scoring in Leduc. Watch Ty tie things up in Tofield. Or check out Connor doing Connor things in Kalmar. And even catch Boosh Bombs in Beaumont. Try saying that 3 times fast. Rogers, this is our game.
During every Oilers game day, the Canadian Brewhouse is your hockey headquarters. Cheer on the blue and orange, surrounded by fans as passionate as you are, while sipping $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. And that's not all. Every game day, you can enter to win Oilers home game tickets. So grab your crew, grab a seat, and make the Canadian Brewhouse your go-to spot this hockey season. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Steelhaus Triton, 2 legendary oilfield services brands, 1 powerful partnership. Rooted in innovation, reliability, and a steadfast commitment to excellence, Steelhaus is proudly 100% Canadian-owned and locally manufactured. With over 15 field service locations across the prairies and up to the Rockies, they deliver world-class energy solutions with unmatched responsiveness, helping their customers thrive in the most demanding environments. Steelhaus Triton, engineered for performance, built in Canada. Visit steelhausinc.com for more information.
Now this update from the Canadian Press. The federal government's buyback program for banned guns in Canada opens on Monday. Owners of banned firearms will have until the end of March to declare interest in the federal program. Federal officials in Montreal said close to $250 million has been earmarked to compensate people who take part in the program. The heads of the European and European Council say Europe remains committed to upholding its sovereignty. A joint statement by Ursula von der Leyen and Antonio Costa says U.S. tariffs announced by President Donald Trump would undermine transatlantic relations and risk a dangerous downward spiral. And the mayor of St. Mary's, Newfoundland, says he's hoping the Canadian Coast Guard or some other federal agency will offer some help in what he's calling an environmental emergency. Mayor Steve Ryan says the wind has torn the wall off an abandoned fish sauce plant in the town, leaving not much to protect the water and nearby fishing grounds from what's inside. From the Canadian Press, I'm David Augustine.
As the new year begins, Freedom Ford invites customers to start 2026 with confidence. Freedom Ford is offering deals on remaining 2025 Ford models with limited time incentives, lease specials, and the return of low financing. Customers can come see the new 2026 Ford models, from the spacious Ford Explorer to the top safety-rated Ford F-150. Freedom Ford showcases vehicles built for winter roads, weekend travel, and everyday reliability. Come on by today and see the complete Ford lineup today at Freedom Ford.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around in the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation. Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass or cup or whatever you pour your Molson in, because it doesn't matter what it's in. It matters where it's from. Canadian. Export, Ultra, Excel.
Molson. Everyone in must be legal drinking age.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
This is At the Intermission on the Oilers Radio Network.
6-0. The Oilers lead it after a 6-goal second period, and it's time for the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Pizza 73, the official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. Golden Knights up 2-1 on the Preds in the second intermission. Ducks and Kings all knotted at 1. Everything else is final. The Wild 5-4 over the Sabres. 6-3, the Rangers beat the Flyers. Flames 4-2 over New York Islanders. The Mammoths 6-3 over the Kraken. Ottawa fell at home to Montreal in overtime. The Hurricanes beat the Devils 4-1. Penguins fell 4-3 to Columbus in a shootout. Panthers 5-2 over the Capitals. In overtime, it was the Leafs 4-3 over the Jets and a 5-2 scoreline for the Bruins over the Chicago Blackhawks. Down on the farm, it's a game between the Condors, and the Calgary Wranglers tomorrow afternoon. They're looking to make it 9 games in a row with a point, and the Oil Kings themselves knocked off the Tri-City Americans 5-4 tonight. That is the out-of-town scoreboard for Pizza 73, the official pizza of your Edmonton Oilers. We'll send it back to Jack and Bob for third period action from Rogers Arena. We're at the intermission, and this is your Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
You've been listening to At the Intermission on the Oilers Radio Network. It's a new era for Ford in Edmonton. Welcome to Big West Ford. Located westbound on Stony Plain Road just east of the Henday, Big West Ford is Edmonton's newest and most exciting Ford dealership. Whether you're after the legendary F-150, the Powerhouse 350 Super Duty, or the adventurous Bronco, they've got you covered with exceptional selection and service right here in your city. Big West Ford, driven by you. Visit Big West Ford at 18208 Stony Plain Road or online at bigwestford.com.
Cybersecurity is not just IT, it's a business issue. One breach can halt operations and permanently damage trust. Business leaders choose AltTech because they understand the stakes. Their specialists design cyber-first IT systems that protect productivity, safeguard data, and support growth. From construction to nonprofits, Canadian organizations rely on AltTech to stay resilient in a digital-first world. Secure operations, strong reputation, sustainable growth. That is AltTech. Visit alttech.ca. That's ALT-TECH.ca.
Can an energy provider make you feel carefree? We think so, because who doesn't like to be surrounded by good energy? Great rates always. Gimmicks never. Perks that reward your loyalty and energy experts who know what's what. Carefree just feels good. Encore by Empor, your carefree electricity and natural gas provider.
Customers are free to purchase natural gas or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822 toll-free.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
The Edmonton Oilers with 6 goals in a period for the first time since 2013, also against Vancouver, have reduced the third period to a mere formality. Roslovic and Kapanen with 2 goals each in that period become the first pair of Oilers to score twice in the same period since Leon Draisaitl and Mark Letestu did the trick against Anaheim in that blowout win in Game 6 of that second-round series in 2017. Ducks won Game 7 2-1 as we're underway here in the third period. Brock Besser floating one down low for Elias Pettersson. As Edmonton looks to turn in a solid third period in front of their goaltender, Tristan Jarry, who's been sneaky good tonight. This is going to be an icing call against Matthias Ekholm 25 seconds in. It's also the fastest 6 goals, 13 minutes and 23 seconds that the Oilers have scored in a single game since 1996. Now, were you out of the woods by then, Bob, or were you still doing the treatment?
No, I did that game. Was that against Calgary?
In 1996?
Yeah.
I don't, maybe. William, hard shot from Tyler Myers. You were doing stats then?
Yep, that was the first, 95-96 was the first air word for Larry Isaac.
Right, but in the summer, that summer.
Yeah, I was up in Prince George.
Here's Evander Kane. Lead pass for Myers. Shot from distance. Glove save, Jari. His 18th of the night. And he keeps this a 6-0 Edmonton lead. Hyman a power play goal and Podkolzin on assist at even strength. That rounds out your 6 goal scorers in that 13-minute flurry that turned a close game into a rout. Oilers are going to go to 9-3-1 in their last 13 on the road. And Edmonton will open up an 8-game homestand tomorrow night against St. Louis. Cam Moon and Bob will have that one for you. It's a 6 o'clock face-off at Rogers Place. Blues just snapped Tampa Bay's 11-game winning streak. Trent Frederick from St. Louis to Nugent Hopkins, whiffing on a one-timer. Kasperi Kapanen looking for his third hat trick. As Bob Stauffer told you before, he has 2. Off the rush the other way, Liam Ogren with a wrist shot, kicked away by Jari. Rebound fumbled in front, broken up by Nugent Hopkins, who had 2 gorgeous assists in that second period. Just beautiful plays. He'll celebrate his 1,000th game in that back end of a back-to-back, and that has been problematic, it must be stated, for Edmonton this year. A record of 1, 3, and 4 in the second of back-to-backs.
Well, if ever you're going to roll the lines over,
this would be it.
This would be it.
Big breakout, I thought, for Howard setting up Roslovic. Feel-good moment for that line, which has been on the verge the whole week. 5-game week for the Oilers, must be stated. Archdeep Baines tucks behind for Linus Karlsson. Up the boards, Marcus Pettersson. His shot deflected wide. Roenick tried to center, broken up by Wallman. A backhander on net and a save on Baines. A second save on Baines made by Jari. And the rebound finally cleared by Savoy. Edmonton again over the final 17 minutes would kind of like to tighten that up.
Yep.
Make it a little bit easier on Tristan Jari to get to the finish line. Been a little sloppy late in games with big leads with Jari in net. Savoy to Jack Roslovic. And he'll send it in deep. Roslovic, like Kapanen, a pair of hat tricks on his resume. Elias Pettersson had it stolen by Mangiapane. Stepping up is Curtis Lazar. The biggest thing is, again, heading into a back-to-back, you can also evenly spread the minutes. I don't see McDavid getting close to more than, 17 or 18 tonight?
100%. I'd even, if you get another power play, give a second power play in a
Here's Ekholm drive. That was redirected, I think, played with a high stick in the estimation of the officials by Janmark. And the play is blown dead with 16:47 to go in the third. Again, the luxury of having a big lead on the front end of a back-to-back. Vancouver opening one of 2 8-game homestands it has in the second half of the year. And with the Canucks drifting hopelessly out of contention, that's going to be tough on the Rogers Arena crowds, which again packed with blue and orange tonight. And they were rewarded with that 6-goal onslaught in the second. Jake DeBrusk backhanding it ahead for Evander Kane. He's going to be cut off by Emberson. Hard rim up the right-hand side. Hyman didn't get it out. Here's a shot by Kampf and a save made by Jari. Rebound taken by Emberson. Reverse back behind. Jari directing traffic, but Colson made certain to secure possession, but when he went up the boards, Hyman couldn't get it out. Kampf. Interior pass, Jake DeBrusk. Tried to give it back to Roenick. Broken up by McDavid. And then Roenick got back in time to prevent any sort of McDavid rush. Funneled back in by Vancouver. Nurse will toss it up the right-hand boards. Emberson guides to Podkolzin. Now McDavid hits the trailer, gets it back from Nurse. And tried a second pass to the middle that did not pan out. Here's Podkolzin. McDavid. Just 1 secondary assist tonight to Nurse down low. Hyman unable to brush that one home. Here's a steal by McDavid. Dangling behind the Vancouver net. Centering, tipped away. Stastny will hold the zone. Still looking for his first point in an Oiler uniform. Gives it up for McDavid. Not a bad way to get it. Off the pads of Tolopilo. And now McDavid tried to drag back toward the middle. Hacked off the stick by Pettersson and retrieved by Wallman in his own zone. Nearly 5 minutes gone, third period. Frederick in from the right-hand side. Hit by Roenick. Snapped the pass to Stasny. Wallman left point shot. Save Tolopilo. Big rebound. Swing and a miss by Frederick. And Roenick able to come up with it for Vancouver. Tough sledding for the Canucks. They're going to go to 0-8-2 in their last 10. Tie the club record for the longest losing streak. And again, Edmonton's been there. Steal made by Ogren. Snapshot on net. O'Connor and a save made by Jari. Rebound still loose. And O'Connor couldn't get there in time. Kapanen snatched it away and sent one skittering back into the Vancouver zone. Willander ahead. Ogren turned it over. Savoy a good read. Punched it forward against Mancini. Now Ogren cross ice to Willander. He'll back off, send a dart up to Linus Karlsson. At the red line, Sasson overran the play and did not get away with a trip. Thought he did for a moment, but the backside official had it as he just tripped Matt Savoy. And we'll see whether Bob Stauffer's second unit suggestion will be put to the test. Savoy in the slot had it taken off the stick. We've played nearly 6 minutes in the third period, and this will be the third power play of the night for the Edmonton Oilers. Is going to the box is Sasson.
Well, we should mention that the second power play unit features Savoy along with Howard and Roslovic, and they just had the 5-on-5 shift for about 35 seconds.
I still don't think that's going to matter a great deal.
They're keeping them up. They're going to keep the second unit on the ice. Here you go.
Chris Knobloch.
He's not going to run up the score here.
Now, that might be an argument that the top unit is making right now, but I don't think they're going to win it.
Well, they earned the penalty.
Yeah, so Roslovic, Howard, Savoy with Nurse and Ekholm is your Atco Energy power play unit. Off the draw, Vancouver able to win it. Pettersson to Tyler Myers. He'll jump up in the play with Elias Pettersson. Offside, Myers, who's probably not used to jumping up short-handed down the right side.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Is Elias Pettersson the best forward on the Vancouver Canucks?
I don't think he's been the best forward this season for the Vancouver Canucks. I think if you look at his talent level, yes.
Okay, you're in a 6-0 game. Do you want it, like, you know, yeah, he's winning draws and everything, but and maybe they're trying to score a 5v5 goal here, but shorthanded goal here.
Why do you have him out there? Is what you're saying?
What happened?
To potentially block a shot.
Yes.
Here's Savoy, left side. Isaac Howard run into the boards by Marcus Pettersson. Nurse and Ekholm trade the puck up top. One touch to Savoy. Saucered back to Nurse. He'll shoot. Save made. Tolopilo. 13:31 to go in the third period. Minute 27 and the penalty to Sasson. And here comes Edmonton's top unit. Wallman, Bouchard, Hyman, McDavid, and Nugent-Hopkins. So, as it turns out, still only about 33 seconds for the second unit.
So, Jack, I don't think they should trade Pettersson. I know that the management talked about the fact Patrick Alvin along with Jim Rutherford, we're taking calls on anybody. I wouldn't do that if I was them.
Here's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I think if you have a chance to move that $11.5 million contract, you move it.
Yeah.
I disagree with you. He's a talented player, but he has not been the same guy since signing that contract. And I think him not being that same guy and him having a disappointing series against Edmonton planted the seeds of some unrest that carried over into the next year. Here's McDavid in from the right-hand side. That's what I would say. That's certain. Clears down the left-hand side. I haven't spent a minute inside that Vancouver locker room.
Fair. You know what? And I just look at it. Why did they trade Bo Horvat? That's the one that I don't get.
Nugent-Hopkins to McDavid. O'Connor. Now, without Bo Horvat, they
had a great year.
Racked up 109 points, but you wonder what that was built on. And it's a year that everything went right, and the next year when things didn't go right, the combustible personalities kind of turned that season south, and now you're at where you're at. They made 2 trades where they gave up the best player in both deals, JT Miller and Quinn Hughes. And that's always the danger of making those deals, is you're giving up the best player. And as I say that, I recognize that I'm suggesting another deal where maybe the best player will go the other way in the deal.
100%.
Bouchard in from the right-hand side. McDavid shooting. Save made by Tolopilo. From the top of the right circle, McDavid denied. Now he'll go to work left corner. Hyman could not handle a hard centering pass. Wallman's got it right circle. Atco power play is over. McDavid shoots. Save. Tolopilo rebound sitting there. Hyman can't get there. Wallman will pounce on it. Give it back to McDavid. On the short side, he'll give it up for Nugent-Hopkins. Vancouver should have had this puck cleared. Didn't do it. And now they're playing chase 5-on-5. Myers looks to break up the cycle. Didn't get it out. Jake DeBrusk will have a chance to muster a clear, and he does as far as center. And now the Canucks will change it up with 11.5 to go in regulation. And trust me, folks, this one is not going to require overtime. Bumped in by Podkolzin. Reversed up the right-hand side. Baines cut off by Spencer Stastny. Ty Emberson to Kasperi Kapanen. Rink wide to Podkolzin left wing. He'll shoot it around the boards. Picked up by Kapanen. Must be sweet for Podkolzin to score against the team that gave up on him. Tried to center. Deflected in front. Now Kapanen with 2 goals already tonight. Again, it was a 6-goal second period for Edmonton that broke this one open. 6-0, 11 minutes to play in the third. Podkolzin still in the attacking zone, coming off the end boards. With the dish, high slot, Emberson a shot and a save made by Tolopilo. Knifed ahead, too far for Ratu. Simply could not catch up to that puck, and Emberson able to take it away. Stastny up the left-hand side, Mangiapane, and it's rolled out of the zone for Trent Frederick. He'll fire from distance, miss the net from beyond the blue line, taken by Mangiapane off the glass. Nurse steps into a shot, save Tolopilo, rebound Victor Mancini. Over to Marcus Pettersson up the center of Evander Kane. Taken away and shot back in by Curtis Lazar. Isaac Howard now on the puck. Tried to jam it toward the net. That was deflected wide. Mancini, right-hand side, looking for Besser. Edmonton's opponent tomorrow, St. Louis, already in Edmonton. Janmark walks in. Drag move to his left. Around Besser, cross ice. One-timer, and Mangiapane missed. Rebound came off the glass. Lazar trying to control. Besser had it. Backhanded it over to Marcus Pettersson. Oilers blew a 2-0 lead in the team's prior matchup. Lost 3-2 to St. Louis on the road earlier this year. That was early November. Flip back in front. Blues right now are 5 points out of the wild card. Here's Nurse off the rush. A shot and a save made by Tolopilo. Hustling toward the rebound. Isaac Howard couldn't get there in time. Tolopilo will fall on it. He's been peppered with 33 shots tonight. Edmonton, a dominant second period. And a 6-0 lead with 9:18 to go. We'll be right back with more live third period play-by-play on Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Oil Country. Stranded in the snow, stuck on the side of the road, or just locked out of your ride? Visit OilCountryTowing.com, Edmonton's most trusted 24/7 towing and roadside rescue team. Oil Country Towing will get you going.
To the fans who bleed orange and blue, never miss a game, and are always on the edge of their seat. Show your passion for the Oilers and cheer on the team at Molson Oilers Game Day Live. Attend throughout the season for your chance to win 2026-27 Edmonton Oilers season seats. Be there for the next Game Day Live event on January 22nd at the Mill Craft Bar and Kitchen. For the full event schedule and to RSVP to the Ultimate Oilers Watch Party, visit OilersGameDayLive.com.
I'm Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And I'm Zach Hyman. And when we're not making juicy, sweet passes or having my goals disallowed, we're working for Legacy Heating and Cooling. You know, guys used to call me a plumber. And now they call you an HVAC technician. Nice.
Hey, guys, you're not here to install furnaces. You're here to sing the jingle.
Oh.
Well.
Okay.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy. Yo, payment payments and no interest for 1 year from qualified installers. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Hey, Oil Country. Stranded in the snow, stuck on the side of the road, or just locked out of your ride? Visit OilCountryTowing.com, Edmonton's most trusted 24/7 towing and roadside rescue team. Oil Country Towing will get you going.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
6-0 our score. Edmonton on the road in Vancouver tonight. The Oilers will have 5 points of a possible 6 in their 3 meetings with the Canucks by night's end. Roslovic centering Savoy and Howard. Roslovic with a pair of goals tonight. Howard and Savoy each with an assist as Edmonton, after a scoreless first period, got to work in the second. And the end result was 6 goals in a span of less than 13 and a half minutes, including 3 in a span of 2:03. Turned the game into a rout. Off the face-off to the right side of Nikita Tolopilo, whose 6th NHL start. Starts 5 and 6 have not been great. Now we've got a roughing call against Vancouver. And this is 4 power plays tonight for Edmonton without 1 for the Canucks.
Sort of a glancing blow.
I think it's Myers.
Yeah, he just got the glove up on Isaac Howard. Coming back up the ice.
Ekholm's barking at Myers.
A little bit of a cross check.
And top unit is out for the Oilers against the beleaguered Canucks, who are going to play their 13th game in a row scoring 3 goals or less. Last year they had a run of 16 straight, but they were getting goaltending. They went 8-7-1.
Well, Lankinen was terrific for them at the start of the year. And then the Oilers came in here, Jack, and just crushed them 7-2. Connor Brown had a couple that night for the Oilers.
Canucks still didn't miss the playoffs by that much, but they're in dead last right now, and it's not getting any better. Off the draw, Woolman to Bouchard, Nugent-Hopkins, McDavid to Bouchard, Nugent-Hopkins, McDavid tried to bank it off the goaltender. Woolman shot it off the side of the net. Had the whole right side of the goal and missed. Rebound cleared by Garland. Canucks will get a change.
There's too many Canadians on the ice. Nobody wants to shoot.
1 for 3 on the power play for the Edmonton Oilers. Here's Bouchard. Back pass to McDavid. Slide step through one man. Stripped. And Besser will drill that up the right-hand side. Knocked down by Jari. And he'll leave it for Evan Bouchard. Bouchard to McDavid. Streaking in right-hand side. You're saying Roslovic needs to be on this top unit?
I'm saying these guys need to shoot more.
Nugent-Hopkins. Feathered one across. Woolman. Bouchard. McDavid. In front, Nugent-Hopkins. That went through the wickets of Pettersson, but stayed in the zone. Bouchard, McDavid down low. Hyman's open across to Woolman. Denied Tolopilo. Woolman was nearly bear-hugged by Besser. You're not going to get a 5-on-3 in a 6-0 game late third period, though. Canucks drill one off the partition. They get a friendly bounce, and the Oiler top unit will change reluctantly. Nugent-Hopkins strolls back to collect for the Oilers. Sees the rest of his teammates have exited, so he'll defer as well. Back pass to Savoy. Roslovic guides ahead for Matthias Ekholm. Tried to center, stuffed by Valander. Play behind the net where Howard put it in the high slot. Nurse was off balance and couldn't maintain the zone. 15 seconds left on the Atco power play, which is about to be 1 for 4 tonight. Edmonton hasn't needed it. The Oilers scored 5 times at even strength in the second period. Nurse, a dart to Savoy as Vancouver comes back to full strength. Shoveled out by Valander. 7 minutes remaining. Edmonton 6, Vancouver nothing. Shots are 35-24 Oilers. Nurse into the zone. Wraps it around Mancini. Got checked by Savoy. Loose in front, out into the high slot. Shot Emberson. That stayed out. Rebound Savoy. Kept it alive for Isaac Howard. Flicked away by Valander. He's on the puck for Vancouver, looking left side for Baines. Now Garland in over the line. Baines will step up. He tried to center, and that was blocked by Emberson. Archdeep Baines now into the corner for Connor Garland. We got a penalty finally coming against Edmonton. Maybe a high stick. Baines, Garland across to Myers. A blast. Blocked away by Jarry. Rebound Garland. Tried to roll it back to the point. Picked off by Janmark. We'll take a break and come back. And it's Roslovic to the box. Vancouver's first power play of the night. On the other side of this break, Edmonton 6, Vancouver no score. 6 and change remaining third period. This is Ford Yoder's NHL Hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
Believing in yourself takes confidence. At Portage College, 93% of grads say their education gave them the skills and knowledge they needed for their careers. That's the kind of confidence that leads to great results. Learn more at portagecollege.ca.
Hey folks, Paul Brandt here. Around these parts, we work hard, play hard, and we demand the best. Sometimes you need a truck that's a cut above. The Ford Super Duty. Tough enough for any job with the style and luxury you deserve. It's as powerful as it is refined, with cutting-edge features that make every drive a pleasure. In short, this ain't your everyday pickup. The Ford Super Duty. Drive the finest truck Alberta has to offer today at your Alberta Ford dealer. And tell them PB sent you.
Bloom Benefits offers amazing coverage that even the toughest hockey players can get behind. With excellent coverage, they offer things like massage. You want to go? Counseling services. Let's go! Dental coverage. That was not offside. And eye exams. With custom health coverage for any group of any size, Bloom Benefits make every team better, stronger, and healthier. Plans start from just $54 a month. Rethink your benefits today at bloombenefits.ca.
Believing in yourself takes confidence. At Portage College, 93% of grads say their education gave them the skills and knowledge they needed for their careers. That's the kind of confidence that leads to great results. Learn more at portagecollege.ca.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Oilers for the first time tonight on the Napa Auto Parts penalty kill, which got nicked up for the game winner the other night by the New York Islanders. That was a third period power play goal by Anthony Duclair. Middle of the pack for the season. Vancouver, decent power play. It's really the only category where the Canucks aren't in the bottom third. They're at 20%, also middle of the pack in the league, and it's keyed by Jake DeBrusk's team leading 11 power play goals, which is good enough for a tie for third in the NHL. But the Oilers won the face-off and drilled it down the left-hand side.
Good work by Lazar, and nice reverse by Bouchard.
And now Savoy comes on to join Bouchard, Ekholm, and Janmark. Elias Pettersson gained the line, moving in right to left. Steve Bouillon. 5:45 to play in the game. Jake DeBrusk, side of the net, tried to stuff it short side on Jarry. Rebound in the blue paint, and Jarry's got it with 5:39 to go in the third period. 1:25 left in the penalty to Jack Roslovic. The Napa Auto Parts penalty kill being put to the test for the first time.
Nugent Hopkins out with Kapanen. Oilers need a center out there to win a draw.
Against Pettersson, Kapanen, Stastny, Emberson round out the penalty-killing quartet. Vancouver wins the faceoff. Pettersson, Bouillon, shot, save, Jarry, juggled, and then held.
Nugent Hopkins had a good game tonight. Couple terrific primary assists. And the Oilers really haven't needed a lot of juice on the power play when you score 5 even-strength goals in a period, 6 overall.
And it's impressive considering Draisaitl's not in the lineup, and McDavid has 1 secondary assist on a power play goal. So he hasn't been involved in a 5-on-5 goal at all tonight. Your top 2 guys. Here's Linus Karlsson trying to short side stuff. And that's the kind of game that it matters a little bit tonight, but maybe there's some carryover, and guys start getting confidence, and it bleeds in to this 8-game homestand, where you can get a little bit stale when you're home for that length of time. So you need everyone going, because chances are on that long of a homestand, you're not going to have everyone going the whole time. Here's Kapanen driving in left-hand side for Podkolzin. Short-handed. Oilers playing keep away right now. Jake Wallman just holding on to the puck. Back down low to put Colson. Trying to centering pass to Kapanen as they're looking to get him a hat trick, but Jake DeBrusk picked it off. 30 seconds left in the Vancouver power play. Canucks change on the fly. Connor Garland waiting at center for the change to be fully complete. Now DeBrusk will step off, and Philip Hronek takes it into the offensive zone against Darnell Nurse. Canucks just trying to get on the board here. Garland to Valander. Across. A shot by Evander Kane. That was deflected. Garland back on top of the puck. Inside. Backdoor play intended for Kane, and a diving Vasily Podkolzin deflected that out of play. And did you see the appreciative tap that Tristan Jarry gave Vasily Podkolzin? He's got a 6-goal lead, and Podkolzin, that was a full stretch to deny a potential backside tap in. Edmonton will be back at full strength when we come back for the final 4 minutes and 13 seconds of regulation. The Oilers long ago have salted this one away. They're up 6-0 in Vancouver. And this is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey as we wrap up Hockey Day in Canada. The Oilers Radio Network.
It's game on at City Ford. With an all-star lineup of 2025 Ford favorites, save up to $7,000 on Escapes, up to $8,000 on Bronco Sports, and up to $18,000 on F-150s. Plus, find 0% financing options available on all 3 vehicles. Score an all-star deal today and spin and win an iPad, Oilers merch, Costco card, even a trip to Mexico. Visit City Ford on the St. Albert Trail.
Over the last decade, the world of work has changed dramatically. It's a change that can cause a disconnect between a company and its employees. But a partnership with Aon can help by making decisions that create a more flexible, engaged, and resilient workforce. Aon's experience and expertise, global understanding, and advanced analytics ensure that every client is better informed and better advised so that they can make better decisions. Whatever the next decade brings, Aon is in the business of better decisions.
Meet Joe. Joe knows that a happy partner equals a happy trip. Joe booked a room through Edmonton's besthotels.com and scored up to $225 in rewards. Hello date night, fancy dinner, the works. Joe is smart. Be like Joe. Visit EdmontonsBestHotels.com to book your next stay in Edmonton.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
4 minutes, 13 seconds to play third period. Curtis Lazar wins the defensive zone draw, and the Oilers funnel it out to center. Mangiapane took it from Janmark, dished off to Lazar, swing and a miss for Janmark trying to tee up a one-timer, and Emberson has to glide back with Stastny to play the puck back in his own end. In case you're just joining us, Oilers and Canucks played to a scoreless tie through 20, and then Edmonton erupted for 6 in a span of less than 13 and a half minutes in the second period. First time that's happened since 1996. That many goals in such few time. Here's Kane looking right side for David Kampf. Broken up by Stastny. Garland then tried a cross-ice feed to Bouillon, but it glanced off a skate and ricocheted all the way back into the Vancouver zone. Myers a hard pass to Kane. He shoots high and wide of Jarry. Rebound Myers. Now you've got Drew O'Connor. Pressure from Roslovic. O'Connor does well to maintain possession. Roslovic trying to stay with him. Thrust across for Bouillon. They'll maintain the zone. Little spin move and a nifty one on Howard. And now inside O'Connor. Right pad save on that wrist shot from O'Connor by Tristan Jarry. And the rebound lobbed back the other way.
I would see McDavid here in the final 4 minutes, last 4 minutes of this game.
Why would you?
Right. Competitive phase is over in this one.
And has been. Oilers reload. Bouchard to Ekholm. Sent ahead for Isaac Howard. And drop back behind the net in the Vancouver zone. Bouillon will leave it for Philip Hronek. And both teams are just in search of the finish line. Vancouver about to close out a 10th consecutive defeat. And in their last 7 games, they have now been outscored 33-9. Pedersen, right side. Valander will step up. It's tough when you're in there, Bob. 8 of the first 9 years we worked together. The Oilers didn't really threaten playoff contention. And Vancouver certainly nowhere close this year. Bouchard up the right-hand side. What's shocking is how quickly the fall has come. 2 years ago, a 109-point team. Season sweep of Edmonton and a 3-2 lead in a best-of-7 series with a chance to go to the conference final. Oilers won game 6 and 7. And the Canucks never really have recovered. Minute 20 to go. Bouillon moves through the neutral zone. He'll swing it around the boards. Jake DeBrusk on the puck. Emberson floats one back through center. Oilers have given up 14 third-period shots. The good news is most of those from the perimeter. Edmonton has not been loose here in the third. Bouillon had his pocket picked by McDavid. McDavid out for the final minute. And I have a sneaking suspicion on why that is. Lead pass, Ogren. Datu Ratu. Hyman calling for a replacement. Send in deep, Nurse. Janmark protecting in his own zone. He'll take a skate. 40 seconds now remaining. Janmark scampering across the Vancouver line. Hard net drive. Tolopilo got his stick on that puck. Garland ahead. Shot by Sasson. A save made by Tristan Jarry. That was a tough one. His 31st of the night. Wallman won a battle and flipped one over the outstretched arm of Tyler Myers. And the Oilers now control the puck at the Vancouver blue line. Roslovic trying to eat some clock. Garland desperate to try to get the Canucks on the board. Weaving his way in over the blue line. 8 seconds. A shot heading wide. Jarry laid it to rest. Kapanen will clear. And Tristan Jarry with a shutout for the Edmonton Oilers. The 23rd of his career, second this season. He got one as a Pittsburgh Penguin back in October. And tonight, with 31 saves, this time he and the rest of the club come to the wire like a thoroughbred. It's a shutout victory for the Edmonton Oilers, one that leaves them 2 points out of the Pacific Division lead, pending Vegas's result against the Nashville Predators. And Vegas has completely blown it open. They were down 1-0. The Golden Knights have erupted for 5 third-period goals. They lead at 7-1. So that's going to remain a 4-point spread in the Pacific Division. But Connor McDavid said it this morning. Forget about what's going on. Obviously, we're concerned for Leon Draisaitl, but we got to take care of business tonight. We haven't won the last couple games. It's time to put one in the win column, and the Oilers did that tonight. And they did it without their top 2 players, essentially.
Right, because
playing major factors.
Right, obviously.
Draisaitl not in the lineup. McDavid a secondary assist on a power play.
Yeah.
So what do you make of this performance, Bob?
Solid performance. Lots of contributors tonight. No question about it.
You're playing a last place club. You got to take care of business.
And they took care of business and they pounded them. And that's what they needed to do.
And Tristan Jarry now 13-3-2 on the season. He's having a heck of a year from a win-loss perspective. And again, the 23rd shutout of his NHL career. Kasperi Kapanen and Jack Roslovic each with a pair in the second period. And really, the Oilers just blew it open with the 3 goals in a span of 2:03 and 6 in the period. And now, with a 6-0 victory, they'll return home at 24-17-8 for an 8-game homestand. And we're joined by Kasperi Kapanen, who's going to get a look at the team that made him available to Edmonton, and the Oilers eagerly snatched him up. But tonight, Kasperi, we were just talking. Look, you're playing against the last place club, but there's a reason they call it the National Hockey League. You got to take care of your business. You can't just toss your sticks out there. What worked for you guys in that second period? What got it rolling in your mind?
Well, I think throughout the game, we were pretty good. So I think we were holding on to pucks pretty well. Weren't turning the puck over as much as we have in the past games, which has been feeding the other team in their transition. So I think we were taking care of the puck. And today everybody put in a solid effort. Everybody worked hard, and I think it showed today.
So, Kasperi, you have the best player on the planet on a nightly basis, but last year the best player in the league was Leon Draisaitl. It's a significant absence. You needed other guys to step up, and that's what happened tonight. And that's part of it, isn't isn't it?
Exactly. When you're missing, a guy like that right now, guys need to step up, and I think a lot of guys did today. And then I think as a team, we played very well today. And this one was obviously for Leon and his family. Can't imagine what they're going through right now. So this was for them.
Well said. And finally, when the game is decided, when the outcome's decided, you know you're going to win. How mindful of the players are that there's a shutout at stake, and how much, what degree of importance did you place on playing that final 10 minutes hard in front of your goaltender?
Well, I think Podsy making that play on the PK sums it up pretty well. I think we want to play for each other, even though the score is 6-0. So Podsy making that play and just little plays, breaking up plays and then putting our body on the line just to kind of help Jars out and get him that shutout is key. So this team's feeling it right now, and we got business to take care of tomorrow, so we're looking forward to that.
Thanks so much for the time, pal.
All right. Thanks, guys.
That's Kasperi Kapanen with 2 goals, and he pointed out the very same play we did, Bob, in a 6-0 game, a full stretch by Vasily Podkolzin. And again, you said it, we're a little mystified why that didn't work for Rick Tocchet's Canucks, but sometimes you need a fresh scenery. Sometimes it does mean something for the player, does unlock something within. And Vasily Podkolzin, one of a long list of players that shine tonight. Bob, looking forward to tomorrow. Obviously, we expect the exact same lineup except for Connor Ingram in net against the St. Louis Blues, who are at a different stage than the Vancouver Canucks are. And this is why I bring that up, Bob, is unlike Vancouver, St. Louis doesn't think it's out of it right now. Right. St. Louis is thinking, we can catch a San Jose. We can catch a Utah.
Well, they've done it twice, right? They did it the year they won the Cup. They came from, 31st in the league. And then even last year, they chased down a playoffs.
They were dead to rights.
Right? They were done.
I think they won their last 15 at home.
Right. And were unbelievable after the Four Nations face-off. Bennington built upon that victory for Canada against the United States, where he stoned the Americans. The Americans were the better team in overtime before Connor McDavid ended up scoring the GWG and OT. So they were a different team. They have that ability. They are down some players. Robert Thomas has been really good against Edmonton, and he's out with a lower body injury. Dylan Holloway, of course, the former leader, had 26 goals, 63 points last year. He's been out really most of the season.
He's close. He's a possibility, but we don't necessarily expect him to play.
Suter is another guy who's got an ankle injury, an ankle for Holloway as well, and then an elbow injury for Joseph. So that's 4 of their top 12 forwards and 2 of their top 6 with Thomas and Holloway in their third-line center. So, yes, Edmonton doesn't have Draisaitl, but they're playing a Blues team that's beat up, and then back to Bennington. 871 save percentage. Would not surprise me if we see Joel Hofer, who
got the win against Tampa, ended their streak. The Lightning had won 11 in a row.
He's at 905 this year, represented by Edmonton's Jerry Johansson, and I know the joke in St. Louis was we better get him signed because the Oilers might counter the 2 offer sheets. Broberg is back. He got a took a headshot.
The concussion protocol.
He's back. He's playing. They got 4 D-men playing 20-plus minutes a game. Broberg going for Sweden to the Olympics. Parayko going for Canada to the Olympics. Falk and Fowler, a pair of Americans that are, 33 and 34 respectively. It's a veteran team with young forwards. It's going to be a challenging game tomorrow night.
And we'll have it for you again at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. Cam and Bob with the call. Tonight, Tristan Jarry, a 31-save shutout in Vancouver. Now 13-3-2 overall on the year with 2 shutouts and a 4-0-1 record with the Edmonton Oilers. And he likes facing the Vancouver Canucks. 6-1-1 lifetime against Vancouver. In his 6th start, Nikita Tolopilo, he was good early, and then it kind of caved in on him and the rest of the team in the second period when the Oilers erupted for 6 goals. First time they got 6 in a period since April of 2013. First time 6 inside of 14 minutes since 1996. Kapanen and Roslovic with a pair. Hyman a power play goal, and Podkolzin 1 for good measure. The Oilers now 24-17-8. Meanwhile, the Canucks are hurting. 10 consecutive defeats, 16, 27, and 5. They've been outscored 33-9 in their last 7 games, and they are dead last in the National Hockey League. Next up, as we talked about, the second of a back-to-back, which has not been easy for the Oilers. They've lost 7 of 8 in that scenario. They'll look to change that tomorrow night against the Blues, who will enter with a record of 19, 21, and 8. They're currently 5 points out of a playoff spot in the Western Conference. Until tomorrow's clash against the Blues, 6 o'clock starting time. And for Bob Stauffer and Brendan Ascott and Rob Brown, I'm Jack Michael saying good night from Vancouver's Rogers Arena. The Oilers blast the Canucks 6-0. Ladies and gentlemen, the pleasure was all ours. The Rogers postgame show starts right now.
Exclusive live interviews, expert analysis, and game highlights. This is the Rogers postgame show. Once again, here's Bob Stauffer on the Oilers Radio Network.
Jari made the save. Rebound cleared to Howard by Savoy. Roslovic fills the lane. Howard centers and Roslovic punches it home. And finally that line breaks through. What a feed from Howard. Buried for Roslovic. His second of the night. And Edmonton running Vancouver right out of the building. 4-0 Oilers.
Well, there you go. That's the Century Casino Highlight Zone. All in, all games, all season. Century Casinos, 3 great locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, next to the Edmonton International Airport at Century Mile. Welcome to the Winter Zone. From the Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth, this is the Rogers postgame show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Edmonton. Big moves need big talent, and AMJ is your go-to partner. For all local residential and commercial relocations, AMJ delivers a smooth, stress-free experience. AMJ, your team for every move. Contact your local branch today.
This hockey season, let the fun extend beyond the ice with Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code OIL50. That's code OIL50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today and find out if you're Alberta's next winner. Must be 18 plus to play.
Hey, Edmonton. Big moves need big talent, and AMJ is your go-to partner. For all local residential and commercial relocations, AMJ delivers a smooth, stress-free experience. AMJ, your team for every move. Contact your local branch today.
This is the Rogers postgame show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Step to his right against O'Connor. Loads, dishes, back here, save, rebound, score. Zach Hyman got it through Tolofilo. And his 7th power play goal of the year extends Edmonton's lead to 2-0. Hyman, 7 on the power play, 17 on the season, and the Oilers up a deuce. They make Garland pay.
Well, it's always good when you get the insurance goal of the game for Blue Cross at 6:47 of the second period. Health, dental, travel, we got the coverage you need. Visit ab.bluecross.ca. That's the 2-0 goal. That means the Oilers got the shutout tonight. We bring in Rob Brown. Rob, how much of this was Edmonton tonight, and how much of this was Vancouver?
I think a bit of both. This was a game you would expect to win if you're the Edmonton Oilers, with or without Leon in the lineup. This is a Vancouver Canuck team that is not very good. And this game ended on the power play goal in the second period. The Canucks were not bad in the first. They came out and they're okay in the second. They give up a goal, but that's fine. They challenge. They lose the challenge. They kill it off. There was still belief. But a careless penalty by Connor Garland gave the Oilers power play a second chance. And when that goal went in, you just saw the sag in the Canucks the rest of that period. And it was a team that they felt they were going to lose, and it was just a matter of running out time.
I love the fact that they didn't, you're up 6-0 after 2. You can ease the minutes back on McDavid. But also, no cheap goals late from the Canucks. A shutout tonight from Jari.
Jari was good. I mean, he wasn't tested a whole lot, but there were some good opportunities, and he looked comfortable. He looked calm. It's funny, the Oiler team goaltending has been an issue for a number of years in the fans' minds. Well, they got 2 goaltenders, 3 with Pickard, but 2 playing really, really well right now. Ingram and Jarry are pushing each other, and that's a good thing for the Edmonton Oilers going forward.
Great stuff, Rob. The smart play of the game is
Sounds
brought to you by Catelli Smart Pasta with all natural ingredients. It's a smart move for your next meal. Look for the all natural ingredients flag in the box the next time you shop. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 2 primary assists, great setups. He's, yet again, in game number 999, the smart play of the day. We'll come back with the Pizza 73 out of town scoreboard when we come back.
Blue-collar work deserves big-dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is always growing. Right now, they're hiring heavy equipment technicians, PM servicemen, and maintenance supervisors. Apply if you're from here or across the country. Even if you're from the Rock, they want to talk. Visit HeavyMetalEquipment.ca to find your new career. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
As the new year begins, Freedom Ford invites customers to start 2026 with confidence. Freedom Ford is offering deals on remaining 2025 Ford models with limited time incentives, lease specials, and the return of low financing. Customers can come see the new 2026 Ford models, from the spacious Ford Explorer to the top safety-rated Ford F-150. Freedom Ford showcases vehicles built for winter roads, weekend travel, and everyday reliability. Come on by today and see the complete Ford lineup today at Freedom Ford.
Edmonton knows great teams. For over 60 years, Chemco has helped build Canadian industry and invest in communities nationwide. Employee-owned and operated, and with over 2,500 skilled tradespeople, Chemco delivers complete solutions as one partner with many strengths. From engineering to construction, commissioning to maintenance, safely and on schedule coast to coast. Chemco cares, and a commitment to quality, safety, and community drives lasting impact nationally and locally. Learn more at chemco.com. Chemco, building industry, building Canada.
You're tuned in to the Rogers Postgame Show on the official voice of the Edmonton Oilers, 880 CHED, and on the Oilers Radio Network.
As promised, out of town scoreboard for Pizza 73. The Edmonton Oil Kings got a GWG late from Gavin Hodnett. They knocked off Tri-City tonight 5-4. So they pick up 3 out of a possible 6 points. Back-to-back games against Medicine Hat and then Tri-City. Bakersfield Condors are 7-0-1 in their last 8. They play tomorrow afternoon in Calgary. NHL Kings and the Ducks tied 1-1 early in overtime. Minnesota 5-4 overtime victory over Buffalo. Rangers double up the Flyers 6-3 Flames. They didn't face Elias Skorok, and they got their former netminder David Riddick. They beat him 4-2. Utah 6-3 over Seattle. Canadians GWGNOT from Cole Caulfield. They beat the Ottawa Senators 6-5. Wild game. Lots of swings in that one. Columbus and Pittsburgh went to a shootout. Blue Jackets win 4-3. They've won 4 straight with new head coach Rick Bowness. Leafs GWGNOT Max Domi. They knock off the Jets 4-3. They rallied back from 3-1 down in that game. Panthers 5-2 victory in Washington. Carolina 4-1 victory at New Jersey. Bruins were down early, but ended up knocking off the Blackhawks 5-2. And Vegas pounds Nashville 7-2. Oilers all over the Flames 6-0. This is the Rogers Postgame Show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Sportsnet Plus is your ultimate destination for Oilers games. Stream more matchups than anywhere else. Spectacular! Catch Oilers action all season. Plans starting at $29.99 a month. Subscribe now at sportsnetplus.ca.
As the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers, MIC ensures precision in every shot. And if you need medical imaging attention, you can count on MIC to get you back in the game. Whether it's a classic wrist shot, that is, X-ray, soft tissue scan, or advanced imaging, MIC provides timely and expert diagnosis. So go where the pros go and book an appointment at any of their 15 convenient Edmonton and area locations. Learn more at mic.ca.
Sportsnet Plus is your ultimate destination for Oilers games. Stream more matchups than anywhere else. Spectacular! Catch Oilers action all season. Plans starting at $29.99 a month. Subscribe now at sportsnetplus.ca.
Let's go to tonight's 3 stars, brought to you by Molson, the official beer of the Edmonton Oilers. Whether it's Canadian, Ultra, Export, or Excel, there's a Molson. With your name on it, you must be of legal drinking age. 3rd star, 31 saves for the shutout, is Tristan Jarry. He's 4-0-1 as an Oilers netminder. Kasperi Kapanen a pair of goals. Tonight's 2nd star, Jack Rosselbeck a pair of goals. Tonight's 1st star. The Rogers postgame show is heard following each of our NHL broadcasts. Oilers right back at it. 5th game in 7 nights. Tomorrow night at home against the Blues from St. Louis. For my play-by-play partners this season, season. Jack Michaels, who called tonight's game, Cam Moon, who's got tomorrow night's game, Rob Brown, Brendan Escott, Aidan Ganem, studio producers, Eamon Hashem at the helm tonight, and Kellen Kennedy, and our longtime engineer here in Vancouver, Tyler Green. Bob Stauffer saying so long, everybody, from Rogers Arena. The Oilers beat the Canucks 6-0.
Post-game show is heard following each of our NHL broadcasts.
The Edmonton Oilers are so proud to select from the Red Deer Rebels, Ryan Nugent Hopkins.
So make that 5 first picks in a row for Edmonton, as Ryan Nugent Hopkins is the first overall pick in the 2011 National Hockey League entry draft.
Gives his brother Adam a hug. He's a quiet and unassuming kid off the ice, but he's a dynamic difference maker on the ice. He's got elite vision, competitiveness, playmaking skills, but can also score goals. And he's not had an easy life as a kid. His dad, Roger Hopkins, his mom, Debbie Nugent, they split up, they separated when he was very young. And his dad, Roger, has had a lot of medical issues to deal with, including a battle with lymphoma that he's come out on the right side of.
Well, the biggest thing on Ryan Nugent Hopkins, Bob, he's got elite vision. He's an outstanding skater, and he's really good with the puck. You get an example of his elite vision as you read a little bit of his bio. But Ryan Nugent Hopkins, here's the vision part of it, really aware. You check, you look, you pass, you make your teammate look better. Then you've got the outstanding skater in him. Just so quick, he breaks people down, great lateral mobility. Again, the great distribution skills and the vision. And how about the puck handling, Bob and Gord? This is Ryan Nugent Hopkins personified, making a nice little pass over in traffic. Ryan Nugent Hopkins, an elite offensive force. I just don't know if he's strong enough to play in the NHL next year, but I guarantee he will be a year later.
I can tell you this, emotionally, 18 years old, going on 35 years old, a very well-grounded kid, unbelievably respectful of authority, quiet and unassuming off the ice, but when the game starts, he wants to take it over. To your point, Pierre, about whether he's ready next year, there are so many aspects of his game that are absolutely ready to play. But you're right, it's just a shade over 170 pounds. The number one strength that he's got, aside from his vision, is his ability to go into heavy traffic, in heavy traffic areas, and like Pavel Datsyuk, be strong on the puck and come out with it. Brent Sutter has every reason to want this guy to stay back in junior hockey. Brent Sutter, of course, is the coach of the Calgary Flames, but he's also the owner of the Red Deer Rebels. And he would love nothing more than to have Nugent Hopkins come back and play another year in Red Deer. But Brent really believes what happens between now and next fall will determine if Nugent Hopkins can get strong enough. He does have a chance to play in the National Hockey League next season.
The second
but his general manager and head coach in Red Deer really believes coming back and playing a full year junior, including the World Juniors, would be the best tonic.
Bob and Gord, he should have been on Canada's World Junior team last year. He was a late cut. I didn't like it. I was at the camp. And James Zutti, you tell Ryan Nugent Hopkins for me, he should have been on that Team Canada.
Justin got a block to run. Paul with it now. Between the legs pass looking for Hemsky. Hopkins with a chance. And a chance. He scores! He's done it! Ryan Nugent Hopkins, his first National Hockey League goal, has tied this game at 1. Get that puck for number 93.
Drawn a penalty on this play right here. Gets it down, jumps around his opponent, and he gets himself to a spot, follows up his own shot, and bangs home his first National Hockey League goal And it's a big one in his first game to tie this game 1-1. Great play by the youngster.
15:05, the time of the goal. His first in the NHL.
Thank you very much. With Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and what'd you think of your first NHL game?
Well, it was pretty exciting. I mean, we definitely didn't give up, and then the couple huge shootout goals really set us up there.
What was the whole experience like? Maybe the entire day, the build-up, the pat on the back from Devin Dubnyk, and just the way the entire day went for you and night?
Well, last night I was pretty nervous. I was had to sleep right away, but I mean, this morning I just tried to think about it as another game. Obviously, it wasn't, but I mean, I just tried to take that mindset, and obviously I was really nervous, but I mean, I just tried to play like any other game.
Every kid dreams of being in the NHL. Once they get here, they dream of their first ever NHL goal. What do you think about the first one for you?
Well, the puck just kind of came loose to me there, and I got pretty lucky with the bounce I got, but I mean, I was excited nonetheless.
When you look at the way your entire night went, did you feel like you might be building to something like this on opening night?
Well, I mean, you can only hope that it'll go this good. I mean, obviously getting the 2 points against a team like Pittsburgh is huge, and I mean, I don't think the team could be happier right now.
There's been so much conversations about you fitting in. It's your first NHL game, but how did you feel when it came to just being able to compete against a good team like Pittsburgh?
As the game went on, I started to feel better and better. I think my nerves were kind of slowing me down maybe a little bit in the first few shifts I had, but I mean, I think as the game went on, I started to feel more comfortable, and the line mates that I was playing with were awesome. I mean, any time you get to play with guys that skilled, it makes things a lot easier.
Did you hear them chanting "Nuge" after your goal?
Yeah, I did. It was pretty weird hearing that.
Yeah, well, listen, congratulations. They may be doing that a few more times throughout your career. What a great night it was for you and the team, and enjoy it.
All right, thank you.
There's a look at the first puck. Here it is. And I think they might be chanting not only Nuge, but huge, the way he played this evening, with more on a guy who stands to
confines back to Eberle. Now Hall to the near side. Back to the point. Horkoff drops it for Taylor Hall, looking for space. Down low. Eberle. Nugent-Hopkins. Scores!
good stand here, but it's the puck movement and the swift decision by Eberle down low to get it through the crease. Roberto Luongo ends up on his belly again after the initial save.
Struggling in front of Sturm, gets it to Eberle in the corner. Jordan Eberle to the point. Gilbert, touch pass, deflected, he scores! Nugent-Hopkins again!
Dot reads the play, circles out of the corner, times it perfectly toward the net. I don't think Luongo ever saw it. Not only does he get the tip on, and a good work at the blue line to make sure the initial shot toward the net doesn't get deflected.
Off the boards to the half wall. Nugent-Hopkins down low. Hall in front, jamming away. Loose puck. Nugent-Hopkins. Hall hammers it. They score.
The Canucks, I'd get on the officials maybe about a minor penalty with this.
So they have awarded Nugent-Hopkins this goal. We think it's Hall. Let's have another look.
Well, he's getting lots of congratulations from his teammates. Another peek at it. The original stuff and whack.
Giveaway was all over from that angle.
That's his shot there that's heading over the goal line, and then
I don't know.
Just talking about your team game, you guys are 15-5-3 in games after losses this season. What have you liked most about your team's ability to bounce back? And if you can, maybe let us in on that process.
Well, I think it just comes down to obviously not wanting to give two away in a row, and you never kind of want to go on those streaks. So we've done a really good job of bouncing back, and it's something we talk about for sure. Sometimes it starts with just playing a bit of a simpler game in the next one to start, and just using our speed and stuff. And so far we've done a good job, but obviously it's going to be a test tonight.
Game number 998 for you tonight, 999 in Vancouver, which is probably pretty special, and 1,000 on the weekend. How do you kind of take this all in the next few days ahead?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're playing a lot and we're traveling and stuff, so I'm definitely going to try to enjoy it as much as I can, but just going to be focusing on playing and doing the best I can out there. But it'll be fun, like you said, $9.99 in Vancouver, so I'll have some family and stuff out there for that, and then I got family and friends coming in on Sunday, so yeah, it's hard to kind of fathom it sometimes, but yeah, I think for my family and friends, it's exciting time. So for me, I'll just be trying to play my game, but definitely try to enjoy it too.
Quick travel for the family, isn't it?
Yeah.
Saturday night in Vancouver, Sunday.
Yeah, so they're going to come in just Sunday morning, get in the afternoon. So yeah, I mean, they obviously wanted to see the game in Vancouver, so they'll be there for that, and then quick turnaround for sure.
Ryan, you'll be the first player in franchise history to play his first 1,000 games in the NHL, all as a member of the Edmonton Oilers. You know, Kevin Lowe did play 1,037, but kind of in 2 stints. What does that mean to you to kind of be the first in such a storied franchise?
Yeah, it definitely means a lot. I mean, I've been very fortunate to, first of all, to be drafted here and to this organization, and to be able to have kind of stuck around through some tough times, and to have the trust of the organization behind me, and so yeah, I mean, it's a huge honor for me. It's been a privilege to play these years here in Edmonton, and with such a great group and a great group of fans. So just very fortunate, and yeah, I mean, obviously not stopping now, so I want to keep going, and I want to keep playing a lot more in this building.
You've had a really unique relationship with the fans in the sense that, you know, they called you Baby Nuge right from the young age. You know, had a lot of nicknames. Obviously, when you fight, they love it. But you've been a guy through the worst times, and now obviously some very good times. That a lot of fans kind of, that generation of fan kind of, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is like their guy. How do you relate to that as a player? And do you feel that from the fan base?
I definitely feel the support from the fans for sure. They've always been great to me. They supported me. Obviously, I came in a first pick, so you have a lot of pressure, a lot of expectations, and I feel like they kind of stuck with me through some tougher years. And yeah, I mean, they've been great to myself and my family. I mean, they're in general just a great fan base, but I've been very fortunate the way that they've treated me, and I definitely don't take it for granted.
Nuge, those dark days you mentioned. Decade of dark. How tough was that personally?
Well, not just personally, but I mean, obviously, you want to have success as a hockey player, and I feel like a lot of us growing up on your junior teams and your minor teams, you have that success, and you're not used to losing a lot, and so to face that yeah, I mean. My first few years, obviously we were going through it a little bit, and you had to find a way to deal with that, and focus on trying to improve the team any way you can, but at the same time improve your own game individually. And it wasn't always easy. I mean, it was frustrating at times, but to be on the other side of it now is very rewarding.
How much pressure was on yourself and Ebbs and Hall to carry a team offensively at such a young age?
There was a decent amount of pressure for sure. I think that just is how it goes with some teams, where you bring in some young guys that are high picks. I mean, Ebbs wasn't a super high pick, but obviously made an impact right away. So that's just how it goes. I mean, it's and you got to be able to play with that, and try not to let that get the best of you. And also it helps when you have each other to kind of go through those moments together, and embrace it, and also just have fun with it too. So we had a lot of fun, but obviously to go through those tougher days it can be frustrating, but yeah, I mean, you got to find a way to get through it.
You ever think all three of you would still be playing 1,000 games? You're the only one that's playing 1,000.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Yeah, in those days, for sure. That's what you expect. That's what our goal was, and unfortunately, it didn't work out like that. But like I've said before, I'm very fortunate to be able to stick around.
Ryan, you mentioned those early years, and you came in as the number one pick and overall. So there's lots of expectations, and you were always an offensive guy. But early on, you seemed to embrace like that defensive responsibility, maybe a little bit to sacrifice offense. Where'd that come from, and was that a tough decision looking back?
Yeah, I think it was pretty quick for me to understand that it was something that I needed to work on, and an area of my game where I maybe needed a little more focus than other parts of my game. If I wanted to be able to help the team in that sense, I didn't want to just be that running gun, just pure offensive guy, and I had to change some things, and I definitely focused on it for a few years, and whether or not it hurt me offensively a little bit, that's kind of the growing pains you go through as a young player in this league, and I'm happy that I took that time to kind of grow my game, and I'm still trying to, everybody's always trying to find the right mix of offense and defense, and but I mean, I'm happy that I took that time and in that stage of my career to focus on the defensive side of things.
Ryan, there's an 18-year-old playing on the Islanders too. He's a defenseman. Is it harder to break in as a defenseman?
Generally, I feel like it always has been in the past. I mean, what he's been able to do, obviously his skating ability helps him so much. He's a great skater, so I would say in general it usually does take D-men a little bit longer to kind of get their footing in this league, and probably just because you're getting exposed a little bit more, but yeah, I mean, he's stepped in right away and made a big impact on that team.
Ryan, to share this experience, 1,000 games with guys like Connor and Leon and Darnell, what does that mean to you guys? You've shared a good chunk of your career with.
Yeah, it means a lot. I mean, it's those guys were a huge reason that I wanted to be here, wanted to sign back here and stick around, and obviously we're a tight group, and the surrounding pieces, same thing, and so I mean, Darnell's been here since my second year, really. So those three guys have been around for some tougher days as well, and to be on this side of it with that group means a lot.
Do you feel at all a big brother to them?
Yeah.
Pick on guys a bit.
Well, that's the surprise. No, I mean, I think that they're pretty mature kids, and I mean, not kids anymore, but they also had expectations when they first came in, and they felt that pressure too, and I tried to help out in ways that I could, for sure, and but now we've kind of all grown up as a group.
Do you ever get tired of introducing yourself to a new coach for all the years you've been?
Yeah, I mean, obviously gone through a decent amount now, so
more than a decent.
Yeah, but you try to learn something, and obviously every coach has their own way of managing the team and kind of going through the process, and yeah, I mean, you take what you can from each one, but obviously, yeah, I mean, there's been a few now.
Starts his career, other than Saturdays, where he can really kind of take advantage of it. What's going to be the biggest? Do a good routine, getting one of the best goalies. Probably have off, spend some tendency.
Ryan's going to reach his 1,000th game here on Sunday. For a guy who's been with him as long as you have, what will that mean for you and the rest of the guys, especially the guys who've been with him for so long?
I'm excited about it, really. It's a long year with a lot of similar days, and Sunday will be an exciting day for our organization, for Nuge and his family. Really, really looking forward to it.
There's a group of you guys that have been together for a long time. How special is that to kind of like share a career almost with, Ryan and Darnell and Leon and those guys?
Yeah, it's been a special group to be a part of. I've been played every single game here in Edmonton with those guys. A lot of ways we grew up together, learning this league, figuring this league out. So to see Nuge reach that milestone all here in Edmonton, speaks to his loyalty here in Edmonton and how much he likes the city, likes the fans, likes the organization. So, big credit to him.
Does he have any big brother tendencies, being a little bit older than the other three when you guys came in?
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, Nuge likes to pick on guys here and there. But I guess that would be his only tendency. But no, he's an unbelievable guy. Great teammate. Again, a guy I can't say enough good things about.
If there's one part of his game that you'd want in yours, what is it?
That's a good question. I would say just he's a great passer, one. Kind of just his completeness, his whole 200-foot game. He's kind of a Swiss Army knife. You can put him out there in any situation and feel good about it, and that's a great trait to have.
Colin Pellick, 15-5-3.
Darnell, do you remember, maybe not so much the first time you met Ryan, but maybe the first few times, or maybe specifically the first time, and what you thought of him back then as you became really good friends a long time?
Yeah, what an awful guy. I think you're going to go around the room and obviously hear a lot of negative things about Nuge and how he's been as a teammate. And I'm just going to pile on top of that. He's been amazing since the first day that we all have been a part of this organization. He texted me when I got drafted, and got the opportunity to meet him at our first camp, and being so such a highly touted player that he was, and special player. When he came in, he didn't treat you any different than anyone else. I think that speaks to the level and type of guy that he was then and continues to be now.
Seems like a guy who's kind of willing to do whatever he needs to do to help the team win. Is that kind of unique, and is that what makes him special?
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously that aspect of it, and what he does on the ice. There's also off the ice. He's one of those teammates you can always rely on if you need help moving a couch or something in your house. He's the guy who'll say, "Yeah, I'll come over and help." If he's need a ride to the airport, he'll be the Uber. He's someone you can rely on at all times, and you look at him on the ice, he's a Swiss Army knife, whether, we're killing penalties, and he's making big plays on the kill or on the power play, making big plays there, 5-on-5. Always seems to have a settling, feel when he has the puck, and as well as, very dangerous offensively. So he's everything for us.
For yourself, spending a good chunk of your career, all your entire career with him, to see him accomplish that feat on Sunday, the 1,000 games, how special will that be for you and some of the other guys like Leon and Connor who have been with him their entire careers?
Yeah, it's it's special anytime you see someone reach a feat or milestone like that. It's a tough league to play in. It's even tougher league to stay in, and he's not just done that, but excelled in this league. And obviously everyone will be really proud of him, and it's a lot of fun to watch him as he continues to grow.
I'm not going to take credit for this question because it's Jason Gregor's, but if you could have one skill set of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, what would it be?
I think his ageless look. If I could get that, I think that he doesn't. Yeah, he hasn't aged yet. So no, but I would say, just his instincts on the ice and his ability to, whether it's offensively, defensively, just got such a high hockey IQ. His ability to read the game.
Just going back to tonight's game, Darnell.
Only to see Anders Lee strip it from Kapanen and work it in deep. Emerson tried just one assist in his last 8 games, no goals. Midsection, Kyle McLean.
After Arshdeep Baines had lost the puck in the neutral zone and the Oilers went the other way, now the Canucks are in. Myers stopped. Rebound. Linus Karlsson put it just wide. Perhaps that's the reason. Here's Wielander in with a shot. Jari the save. Ekholm gets the loose puck and chips it out to center ice. Puck set ahead. Lazar drops to Roslovic. Makes a move, tries a backhander and scores. Roslovic put it on the backhand and slid it home through the leg
legs of Tolopilo.
This is Roslovic's third goal in the 13 games since he was injured. He comes back into the lineup. That's pretty close at the blue line. As he ends up going to the backhand and pulls Hronek out of the play. You got Lazar going to the front of the net. I believe they'll look at the contact here on the Canucks bench, but it seems like Sasson ends up bumping Lazar into the Tolopilo. The face-offs here, and you're just not going to win as many face-offs.
But they're in, and they're setting up. Bouchard makes a move on O'Connor. Drag move, now a backhander in tight, and they score! Zach Hyman. 15th goal in the last 19 games as Hyman on the backhand makes it 2-0.
And he's got such a sturdy base, he doesn't get moved around. Well, you lose the draw, but you've got an automatic entry into the zone with McDavid. Bouchard, the second time or third time tonight, he's made some kind of toe drag. This time he gets around Marcus Pettersson, and this puck will deflect off of Philip Hronek. See Hronek out in position, it hits his foot, it's going wide of the net and trickles in just behind Tolopilo, and the Canucks take back-to-back penalties eventually.
Liam Ogren protecting the puck, gave it away to Podkolzin. He's 2-on-1 with Roslovic. Podkolzin shoots. Tolopilo to save, couldn't cover the puck as he tried to one-time it on goal. Emberson, nice pass ahead. Now a lead feed, breakaway, Kapanen scores! Kasperi Kapanen posting in to make it 3-0 Edmonton.
And Ty Emberson, who's had an excellent night, finds Ryan Nugent-Hopkins in game 999. Nugent-Hopkins lays this soft, buttery pass ahead to Kapanen. Kapanen's back behind the Canucks defense, and his shot goes off the goal post and in, and the Oilers quickly have stretched this to...
DeBrus to the blue line. Bouillon in behind for Kane. Checked by Nurse. Puck comes in front, jammed on goal. That was David Camp going to the net. But Jari held it out. Oilers the other way. Howard on the left wing. Puts one in front. They score! Roslovic with his second of the game.
Jari makes the save. Now, this third line we talked about earlier for the Oilers, they're hoping for some offense for them. They've liked the way they've played. That's Ike Howard, who had a great stint in the American League, finds Roslovic for his second goal of the game tonight. He goes right through the middle of the ice, drives the middle.
Turning in the corner, trying to get away from Pettersson. Centers, Kapanen scores! Now he's got 2 in this game. And the rout is on here in Vancouver as the Oilers go up by 5.
Man, the Oilers make you pay. You don't do it right, they make you pay. Pettersson's in position here to defend Nugent-Hopkins, who will spin away from him. Pettersson loses position, and then Bouillon is staring at the puck. Right about here, Bouillon's got to turn and accept that Kapanen is his.
He takes a turn with these two. Liam Ogren has played most of the shifts with Pettersson and Besser. McDavid found the puck. He's into the Vancouver zone, trying to go through the defense. Following up is Podkolzin, who scores. The ex-Canuck Vasily Podkolzin following the play. Puck wound up on his stick, and he makes it 6-0.
Goes right through Pettersson's feet here. He doesn't see it until it's too late. Now McDavid's into the zone. Hronek actually pushes the puck away, and it ends up going right on to Podkolzin's stick. Hronek plays this fine, knocks it away. Oh, there's Podkolzin, and he's standing about 25 feet away. His wrister beats.
As Garland wrists one towards the goal, grabbed by Jari. He'll keep play alive, and this game will come to an end. Tristan Jari makes 31 saves on this hockey day in Canada. He joins Andy Moog as BC-born goalies to record a shutout for the Oilers in Vancouver.